bit.
Hold on, I got this. Fuck you.
Laid to rest.
This is
gripped,
motherfucking
cast
Justin
in
remains
blood.
strong. 2023 America's Strongest Man, 4th place, 46.5 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How do you even find the points? I don't even have those.
This is fucking Psycho Steve,
I got the
dude.
internet in 2024.
Dude, Steve
This is what we're
knows-
paying him for.
Yeah.
Yo, he's
I
on
got the
shit.
lift stats. Lucas Hatton seems like a motherfucker though.
Oh, dude, he's insane. And
Crazy.
like 2 years ago at the Arnold Amateur World Championships, yeah, 2 years ago, 2021, 2022, I don't fucking know. Like we were like around the same range, and then in that full year, the next year where we competed at the Amateur World Championships again, he fucking blew up. Like just like all of a sudden, it was just like, okay, you're an adult now. Like,
So like I noticed in a couple of his stats, I'm a fucking stat geek, but like
Talking to the mic, Steve.
my bad, the natural stones. So you came in second in 42.72 seconds. He came in first in 30.89.
yeah,
Is he
was just flying. Like he had a perfect run. I was going slow at that point, like just making sure I didn't mess up any of the stones because I was like, okay, I need points. Got to try to keep where I'm going at. And by that point in that contest, I was already destroyed. Like the first event, my lat popped and it was just like all bruising. I was like, okay, great, I can't lift my arm now. And then
Yo, beyond the fact that they weigh 6,000 pounds, are they a bitch to pick up just because it's a fucking ball?
dude, no, I love fucking stones.
Really?
It's my favorite event. Like it just, there's something about it where it's just like
That
it
makes
feels
sense.
natural.
No, that makes sense. That
just
checks
feels,
out.
It just feels right. Like I'm not autistic, but I like rocks.
Yeah, it's Cam. Cam is funny. Let's
That dude's
fucking go.
incredible.
He is the
Oh,
best.
he's awesome.
So like what? How'd you get into this type of shit? Like, because I know everybody's just like goes to the gym and they're like, yeah, I want to get strong, or everybody wants to get fucking shredded so they can post their t-shirtless pictures on the internet.
So there's a band called Laid to Rest, right?
Yeah.
Well, backdating that. So, like, when I was 16, I was fat as, like, a kid growing up. Like, my dad made me play sports, whatever. Well, I'm glad he did. But I was never good at them. Like, I played the bench in baseball. Like, I sucked.
Yeah.
And I reached the point when I was 16.
Played the bench.
Yeah. I learned how to juggle, though. But when I was 16, I reached, like, 310 pounds. And I was just at school walking up a couple stairs, like 3 steps, and had to stop because I was sweating and breathing so heavy. And I was just like, I have to change this. So I started going to the gym with a kid I grew up with and just kind of got into it real heavily. And like they all did powerlifting, so I kind of had more adult supervision of like how to do things properly, and kind of found out quickly I was decently strong. And then so I was doing powerlifting for a while, and then just ended up maxing out every week because I was a young kid being a dumbass.
Yeah.
And ended up just being injured and going to this other gym by my house and happening to find my coach who does my strongman coaching now. And from then on, I just kind of fell in love with it, especially to Kyle, the other guitar player, and Laid to Rest was always pushing for me to do strongman, showing me the old videos like Bill Kazmaier and all those guys.
Yeah.
And they kind of just fell that way.
So you've had the same coach for the strongman thing since you were what, basically in high school?
I met him when I was 20, I believe, so 7 years now.
That
7
Justin.
years.
Justin Staplicki, yep. He used to train with Derek Poundstone, who was at his peak. He made it to second at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. So
And you're already at 4th.
In America.
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 So Worlds is everywhere and stuff like that, and then obviously America's just limited to American athletes or who have citizenship.
So like, how do you break into something like that for like World's Strongest Man? Is it like invite only?
So it's complicated.
Like, or do you have to hit like a certain stat to like be accepted?
You got a Noah guy?
It depends on the situation. So for my route as is, because I'm not good with social media or making like relating to people online, it just doesn't make sense to me. The contest I'm doing in June, the official Strongman Games regionals, that leads to top 3 go to the official Strongman Games. And in the U.S., if you get top 3 at that contest, you get invited to Giants Live, which, as far as I know, any of the Giants Live contests you can do, there's like 10, maybe 12, and top 3 from all those go to World's Strongest Man. So that's like the groundwork, hard path to do, and that's the only realistic one I see.
Like the season to playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also 2 invites based on like people who have like who are very strong too, not just like slackers or anything like that, but they have a super strong social media presence and stuff. As far as I know, from what I see, because it draws in money. Because
Right,
for
yeah.
what it's worth, it's a made for TV sport. Like
Yeah.
it's always been like that. It's like okay, trying to get views. Like certain
You can see that with fighters too, though.
yeah,
Like
there
if you
was
got a personality and then also can beat ass, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's like all depends on the set and setting, and especially with that contest, because there's 4 top tier strongman contests at the moment, which is World's Strongest Man, the Strongest Man on the Planet, which is Brian Shaw's contest, the Rogan Invitational, and the Arnold's Pro Stage. And those are like the top 4. But with Worlds, it's like finding the fine line. Because like if they get a strongman from Chile, but he didn't qualify because he can't travel all the way to America to do this regional or something like that.
Right.
But they're getting the paid sponsorships from Chile's government or whatever for TV and stuff like CBS and all that shit. It like makes the way because it's a televised sport.
Yeah. There's no, it just gotta be. I've always seen like the payouts. Like even if you win those competitions, you're looking at like a couple $1,000s.
So
Like golf checks, dude.
I mean, golf checks is, it's all Nike. So you're just getting.
No, I was referencing like the Billy Madison. He got a big check for like $2,000.
Oh, yeah. in his like closet or car, he's got a pile of 100 checks that he's just saving up. So yeah, is there like anything like that? Like,
so it also depends on where you're at and what you're doing. World's Strongest Man, like, they don't advertise the payouts now as far as I know, but like I know at least 10 years ago, first place was getting 100,000, something along those lines. And like I know the Giants Live series, when you get into that circuit, you get paid out, you get flown there, put up, all that shit, and then like every placing gets paid. For my personal experience, ASM, America's Strongest Man, only top 3 get paid, but it was 25,000, 15,000, and then 5,000.
So you got to be making money through sponsorships then, because that ain't shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
But most of these guys
prestige and whatever.
Yeah, they have sponsorships, or there's even guys who are just that good where they don't have to prep for a contest, and they'll do a bunch of the contests, and even if they come in the middle of the pack, they're still getting a payout.
is there like a time frame on this that you're looking at? Like you want to compete for X amount of years until like you're a certain age, or like because I know with like fighting, I know we talked about like 35 is around that age. They'll kind of start looking at people like maybe you should start chilling out a little bit. So is there like kind of like a known age, or like that people should like start dying down because of like either like your body not being able to withstand it, or you get to a certain age and you just can't build anymore?
It's, for me, at least I know, I'm not setting it as an age number. I just want to see how far I can personally take it and like push my, like if I break both my legs, then I'm like, okay, it's over. There's no point trying to bounce back from this. But I want to push it as far as I possibly can. So I don't really have an age set on it. But like there's some guys who at 35, they're done, they stop. But then there's guys like Mark Felix who's been doing it, or Terry Hollins even, who did it for like 20 years. They got like 14, 15 World's Strongest Man invites, and like they're not placing at the top as they got older, but they're still holding it down.
Right.
Your upcoming contest, what's the deal there? Do you have sponsorships? Do you want sponsorships? What's like, promote yourself, bro.
You're asking the wrong person to do
that. What are you doing to sustain yourself so you can compete?
Yeah.
A lot of like, I have a bunch of friends that do physical therapy stuff. So anytime I have like a micro injury, I'm doing whatever I can to like solve that issue. It's just keeping my sleep in check, the important stuff, eating, nutrition, keeping everything on task and not really slacking, but also knowing when to be like, okay, I can't push it today. Like, and I already forgot where I was going with this.
But like as far as
Your routine
financially and stuff, like do you have sponsors that are helping you out, or
I
how does that work?
Yeah, I do not, but I
No.
love sponsors. But it's also just trying to find that find that market and like try to like I guess portray myself as someone that can represent their brand, especially because I don't know how to use social media well. Like if you've seen any on my lifting page, any of the stuff I post, it's just like I did this today and that's it. I'm not making some warrior post how I went to war.
Yeah, but
and it's
that's
just
like what people, as long as it's edited kind of okay, that's what people want.
yeah.
It's like the
You know?
short film, whatever it is. Like what? So how about, as far as we were talking about injuries, like have you ever been in a competition and got hurt really, really bad, or is it all like predated? Because I know you were talking about like you pulled something like during the boulder lifts or whatever.
Yep, it was during the first event of ASM was the axle clean and press, and so I had to pick up the axle bar, get to my stomach, then get it here, and then press it overhead. On my third or fourth attempt, I think it was 395, maybe. I can't remember what weight I didn't get, but as I went to clean it here and hold it, like I came down, and all of a sudden I heard it and felt it pop, and I'm like, oh fuck! Tried to finish, couldn't get it, and with any injury I've had has basically been during lifting and stuff like that. It's just nothing's been too detrimental. The worst one I had was last August. I did a powerlifting meet just because I was bored and had a nice break between strongman contests. So I wanted to get my static strength up. And I was benching, and I think 520 was on the bar, and like as it came down to my chest and I tried to push it up, all of a sudden my hip popped and my leg went like numb.
Quick 520, light 520. Dude,
It wasn't
easy.
light when it started crushing me again. But, yeah, my hip popped, and I was like, I can't move my leg. What the fuck? I was like, grab it. So they grab it, and as I sit up, it popped back in, and like I was just like, holy fuck, I can move my leg again. And then trying to walk for like 30 minutes after that was just insane pain. I ended up finishing out the meet, but like that's been like the constant that's been annoying me since then. Like it hurt at ASM, and right now it's getting better. Like with talking to other people, physical therapists, and just working through finding the right exercise to heal it. Like right now, it's the best it's been since then.
That's the number one thing I like can't watch, like the powerlifting videos of people getting hurt.
When you guys fucking sink under the weight of the shed you're lifting, get the fuck out of it. Your knees go backwards.
I got a funny video.
Fuck. I don't even want to hear about it.
I want to show you it.
I'm okay.
You want to see it?
I don't want to see
It's
it.
in my favorites.
we can show it after.
Yeah,
but
we'll put it up.
We'll
We're not
put it
even
up.
monetized, but we'll just get demonetized.
Yeah, we'll just pause it. Those are the worst. Like, at what point do you realize that, like, if you need, 30
What's the number?
spotters, they're like 30
What's
spotters.
the number?
What's the number of what?
What's the number you're looking to reach, to lift?
What do you mean, like pounds for a certain weight, or like?
Yeah. For your favorite lift or whatever. What's the number that you're going to be like, all right, I fucking did it?
Oh, definitely this one. So, the Atlas stone, the big round boulders, not the natural stones.
I guess Big Rock.
Yeah,
Big rock.
Big rock. We have one at our gym that's 530 pounds, and to date, only, as far as I know, under 5 people have ever lifted that exact stone. And the story behind it is there was this guy, Mike Jenkins, who was a pro strongman. He was an animal, like just destroyed every contest. He ended up dying from sleep apnea. And when that had happened, the person who like worked with the gym he owned or whatever, hit up my gym owner. It's like, hey, like we want this to go to a good place where it would get used if it ever gets used. And so knowing that, and like knowing a bunch of other World's Strongest Man guys have tried to pick that same stone and couldn't, like I want to get that stone.
Nice.
And I've gotten it off the ground before, but I just can't get it to my lap to sit here and then load. But like that's the one that's been like, I want that one.
535 off the
530 or
ground.
535, yeah. Alex.
Jesus
And
Christ.
the world record's
Christ.
like 660 by Tom Stoltman, but he's just insane at stone lifting.
Is there like a certain aspect of just that specific lift that's like once you get it to like your thighs, is it easier than like the initial lift?
For me, yeah. That's
Yeah.
like once it's here, I know it's going up. Like I don't have to worry about it. Like I can roll it and hyperextend my hips to actually get it up onto the platform, no problem. But getting it off the ground is always the tricky part.
What's the one in competition that the lift you're just like completely dreading every second of it?
Log. Yeah,
Log?
I fucking hate the log.
Log?
And it's like one of the most prominent pressing events in Strongman. I'm ass at it.
Describe it. What is it?
So it's a giant, most of the time in the lower level fields and stuff like that, it's a metal log that you can load weights on, 12 inches in diameter. You have to pick it up off the ground, roll it up to here. It's crushing your neck the entire
And
time.
then straight up.
And then press it up.
Okay.
In
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, in the bigger fields, it's a wood log, like actually cured and stuff like that, and they look crazy. But I am just god awful at it.
Is
like,
that different from the axle press?
Yes. The axle press makes sense to me for whatever reason. It's usually the opposite with a lot of guys. Like most guys, phenomenal at log and suck at axle. I'm the inverse.
Did you have to do the log at ASM?
No, it was just last man standing max axle, thankfully.
Oh, that was last man standing?
Yeah, so with that event, yeah, it goes, they started at an opening weight. You can choose to take it or not take it. But once you miss a weight, you're out of the event until somebody else decides, all right, they're the last one or whatever. But you can skip weights too. So I could have opened with the 350 or whatever it was and then waited till 450
But
before
that's
I
the
went
one
again.
where you had the pec.
Yeah, the lat, yeah.
And so did that mess up the other lifts later on? More like, I mean, you still came in second with the stones despite that. So how much did that impact the like 2 weeks of ASM?
I would say not too much because they have massage therapists on hand and like work through that. I got cupped and stuff like that, and then they worked whatever, used the crazy bar to like destroy my back. And
Dude,
you
got
want to see me get
cupped.
cupped?
Yeah, cup.
You love cup. You love getting cupped.
I was trying not to fuck it up.
How much time do you have between each of those? So like, did you have to do the yoke and farmer carry after?
I forgot. Was that the second event?
What
That's
the
how they
fuck?
had it
How did you?
listed?
Yo, are you like? I had no
I
idea.
love this. This
I
is great.
Googled.
I did not remember any of this.
No, so we talked about it at the pig roast.
Yeah, yep.
And you were like, yeah, it's coming up in
Fucking
November. So
Steve.
I fucking
Steve
paid
knows
attention,
everything
dude.
about
About everything.
everything.
That
I'm
was
on
awesome.
Don't leave the house.
Yeah. If so here's a funny story about Steve. So it was what 2019, right? And I just bought this house, and Steve was moving in with me. And as we were still tearing down like wallpaper, not even moved in yet, I sat him down and I was like, "This is MMA. Like we got to watch these two guys." It was Fedor and Ryan Bader, heavyweight fight for the title. I'm like, this guy is widely known as like the best heavyweight fighter of all time.
I knew who Fedor was.
You knew who Fedor was. He didn't know who Ryan Bader was or anything like
Brad
that.
had just brought me to Paladin, and we
Oh, yeah.
started there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I sat him down. I was like, before we got to take a break because we got to watch this, right? So he sat down, watched Bellator, his like first ever event. I actually got him to like watch. And then I'm like, he's like the greatest of all time. Gets knocked out in like 7 seconds.
That fight hurt.
That fight hurt. And
That hurt.
and then he was the greatest of all time. I'm like, well, I mean,
Was.
Bad night. He's allowed to have a bad night.
So ever since then, he just became like super obsessed.
Statistic
And,
Steve.
like I've been watching since I was like in high school. Like who got me into it? It was like Uriah Faber. He's like my favorite of all time. And I've been watching since WEC and
I just got into it.
I'm just
still
going to point
barely
out,
into
it didn't look like you pointed at Uriah Faber.
over here. It's not on camera. That's Ross Pearson. But anyway, so ever since then, like, then Steve will text me and be like, "Hey, Pushaga Buhuhu over in Russia is fighting Sada Buhuia," and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck those are, but cool. And and like, no, it's just crazy when it
Watching
comes
some
on.
undercard on a web stream.
Yeah.
Every Saturday in your living room, it was on, and so I started paying attention.
Yeah.
Then I got into the DraftKings fantasy sports.
Well,
and
you
I
were
was
like that with
degenerate.
baseball too, right?
Wicked bad.
Yeah, so-
Wicked.
So I bring that up just because, like, you tell, like, if there's stats involved in anything, like he'll grab onto it.
Give me
and just-
numbers, not social interactions.
Yeah. So like,
crazy.
going like you were talking about the farmers carry. I think we were
so,
at.
yeah, so the order they had it was like axle press, then yoke and farmers carry medley, Ukrainian deadlift, dumbbell ladder, stones, and then power stairs.
Yeah, that's the
Does
correct
that-
order. Yeah, that's the correct
Okay.
order.
So how much
That
time
sounds
do you
about
get
right.
between them?
So yeah, yep.
It all depends on like how smoothly it's being run. So that contest was America's Strongest Man and America's Strongest Woman. So the woman would go first, then we'd go because they have all the implements out or whatever. I think realistically, because there's only 2 events per day at that one, I want to say at least an hour to 2 hours maybe, but I can't even remember. Like I'm usually in a crazy fucked up
Wait,
headspace day of.
so are you doing all of these in a day?
No. So once you get to like the pro level field and stuff like that, it breaks down and they do it over a span of time. Like World's Strongest Man is this upcoming Wednesday till like Sunday.
Yeah, it's
the
a
long-
weekend event thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to watch those all the time. That's just kind of how I'm familiar with some of the lifts. Is like I watched like Eddie like
Yeah.
all the time just because
Yeah.
he's hilarious and everything. But like it's It's not the farmer's carry. It's the one that's shaped like a coffin and you walk around laps with it.
The Husafelt.
Yeah,
It's like
that.
a giant rock.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
sucks.
that's a question I have is going into these competitions, do you know exactly what lifts are going to happen? Or because I know with some of them, you don't really know until you kind of like show up and you realize that there's like the spinning wheel of death or whatever it is. Like, do you get surprised by lifts sometimes or you know exactly what to practice?
Yeah, typically, like, what I've noticed is I'm at the bottom barrel of the pros, so I've only done ASM as my first pro show, but even with the pro-ams and stuff like that, you know well in advance. But, like, with the World's Strongest Man, I think they might get 8 to 12 weeks of notice of what the events are, so you kind of, like, got to be primed, pretty much ready to go all year, and then you have a short prep to get
So
into
you
it.
don't have to train everything. You know what to train.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like
So
at
it's
this
fight
level, I'm
camp.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked that because like going into those huge events, I've seen some people be like, "Oh fuck, I didn't know this was on the bill."
Yeah.
So they just show up and they're like, "All right, cool. Like I didn't prep for this, so now we got to prep for the next week, trying to get ready for this just to get my grip under me and figure out the best grip for it."
So they do that sometimes too. A mystery event where they'll just leave one event as like, okay, a week out, you get to find out what contest was it they did that. Which like, okay, in hindsight, like I like to think that's pretty cool. Like you have to really know how strong you are, just without
Gotta be
ever training
functionally
it.
strong,
Yeah,
maybe.
But like it also at this level where we're lifting retardedly heavy weights, like it's a big risk for injury. And
I was
like,
gonna say that. Yeah, it seems more like a risk than anything.
yeah, so it's just like you could
Like a
end
crowd
someone's career
thing.
right then and there because they had weak biceps
gotta
or whatever,
train
and weren't ready.
for it.
Yeah, but what was the mystery event I had at the Amateur World Championships? I forgot what the fuck it was. It's gone in my head. I'm not gonna remember.
Nice.
I actually wanted to share this with you guys. This came up a couple weeks ago. Some guy is going around. Have you heard of Irish lifting stones?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know about him. This dude's just going around trying to like pick them all up, and like they're finding more and more of them and uncovering them like through.
Wait, so these are just stones like in the wild that the guys?
So it was
So
a
they're
rite
rocks?
of passage.
I can
Like,
pick up rocks in the wild.
You weren't
That's
a
how you-
man until you picked up the town rock.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That's so sick. I was gonna bring that up at some point today. It's
Dude,
like, yeah, that
that's-
was their path to manhood. Like,
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to be a man in your culture or your society until you could pick these stones. And some of them are fucking 400 pounds. Like,
Oh, I'm never a man,
Not with that attitude, bro.
dude. I'm never a man with that. It's like deadlifting's different because you got fucking bar and grips, but stone, it's like you cut. Is it? That's a good question. Is
It's a
like,
different kind of strength.
It's a different type of strength because I feel like a lot of it's like grip strength too.
Well, so the moves I've seen, like this one guy, he brings it to his knees.
Yep.
Then kind of does the roll up, and it looked a lot similar to the natural stones.
Yep.
But each rock is a different shape, and he was talking about how like he has to train to the rock.
yeah, it's like each one's different, especially with natural stones, because like the balance is different and stuff like that. Like the ASM, it was all natural stone loading, so it wasn't Atlas stones. And so I didn't get to feel those stones or how they felt until that day. And same with everyone else. And coming back to the time where I came in second place versus Lucas's speed, he didn't take a second to even feel him. He just ripped. The third stone I got choked up on, and it was just super long like this, and like I couldn't figure out a quick way to grip it, so I had to quickly lean it, grab it, and then load it up. So I was like taking my time making sure I got it, and it was just you had no idea until you were there.
Jesus Christ. Lady needs to go to Ireland and find these stones then.
Yeah.
The quest to pick
He's already
up
got.
rock-
He's got the one in his gym. That's the stone.
That's
the one.
Oh,
his.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
want
got that
that.
from that guy. I want that. How much was that again?
5:30.
Now, do you do Muay Thai to substitute your cardio? Is that why you started it? Besides the fact that it's fucking sick.
I mean, I just love doing it. I love doing stuff like where I have to be forced to learn or like suck at something so bad until I can get good at it.
That's one of my favorite parts about it.
Yeah.
Is
Which
it
I
the
saw-
progressive overload?
define
of-
progressive overload.
Like in lifting, like adding just a little bit in that kind of incremental improvement.
Yeah, similar lines. And I just like doing Muay Thai. Well, it does help my cardio, like what you were asking. But also, it's just a good skill to learn. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I just like, okay, like I can take a couple punches from you and I'll be okay. Except that last time I couldn't.
Is that
All that buffness for no reason.
all that buffness? Is that the only martial art you do, or do you just do the strongman thing in Muay Thai, and that's kind of like your cup of tea?
Yeah, right.
Here comes
as
the
of right now.
jujitsu guy.
Well, I'm just I gotta ask my questions, you know.
I've jumped in on open mats, but I have no knowledge about it. I get smoked every time. I just like to see how long I can last against someone.
Yeah, well, because I asked
Eventually,
because-
those arms get tired.
Yeah, no,
Eventually.
I did that last night. It was really quick.
What got you into Muay Thai?
I can't even think what it was. Probably just seeing all my friends do it. And I was like, oh, this looks awesome. And then just seeing all the videos. and
Controlled
stuff.
punching people in the face. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually-
So do you guys don't go to the same gym? This was kind of like a pop-in thing, or
Yeah, no, he just came. He's been to my gym like one other time.
Yeah.
Right? And then we talked about doing the podcast. So I figured, why don't you just come to the gym and then we'll do the podcast, because you're in a better mood after you work out anyway. And you're driving all the way up here. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
So he goes to the same. Where do you go? He goes with Fat Man. Wherever him and Fat Man go.
I did go there. So
Oh, so it's different now. Oh.
So my strongman gym is Lightning Fitness. There's also an MMA section in there that's called Legacy, and they do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. We both started there for the Muay Thai, and then now I've been going to Underdog MMA in West Hartford, and my Muay Thai coach there is Adele Lolik, I think is how you say his last name, and he's done a bunch of fights, just like more traditional Muay Thai, and I like kind of clicked better with that, so like I like that better, but I had no
Don't
problem.
shy away from those MMA classes, though. Having some hip awareness, because you're such a big guy. I'm sure you've noticed you're top heavy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, same.
can't avoid that.
So you gotta, yeah. You can avoid it.
have you
right? So-
noticed that you're big?
But yeah, that's awesome. Muay Thai is awesome.
Have you because you were talking about taking a fight? Is that you always wanted to do that as soon as you started Muay Thai, or it's just kind of like I might as well do it because I compete. I like competing.
Yeah, that's where like
Well, smokers are fun anyway. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. You know?
Yeah, I never thought to like when I first started, like, oh, I'm never going to do a fight. Like I was just like, I just want to do this to do it. And now that I've been doing it more and more, I'm just like, okay, I have a long off season between my contests that I can do.
Find a strongman you don't like and call him out.
I could do that.
What's up, you fucking bitch?
Fifth place.
Can't even pick up a rock, you fucking asshole.
Just pick fights with number 3, 2, and 1 that beat you out in the competition. Be like, I got to beat you somewhere. You got to come get punched.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Here's what's going to blow your mind, and it's completely off topic to the question I was just asking.
Oh, that's great.
You see the size of me, right? I'm the smallest guy at every contest. 99% of the time.
Like height-wise, too?
Height, muscle mass, like fat
Fucking
mass.
mutants.
Yeah.
But you beat them out.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Like I go there, I'm just like, how do you put on that much muscle, that much size, and
Is
not die?
there truth to like the short, stocky guys are usually getting a leg up in competition?
Power core, baby.
In powerlifting, yes. Like it's just easier to build the muscle density in a smaller area and strength that way, as far as I've seen. But with strongman, you got to be tall because like sometimes you're gonna have a stone loading event to 60 inches. Like the height helps tremendously in strongman.
There is a thing as being too big, though, even in all athletics. We're verging on too big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though you're a little bigger than me. But 6'4", you know what I mean?
You're in the weight class that you had to have fought in Pride.
Open
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah.
Big.
No, I'm on weight. I was 269 today.
Yeah.
I'll stay
you're
on weight,
fine.
baby.
Yeah.
Ready to fight on your worst day.
Yeah. Do you think that helps you at all, being like as strong as you are in like Muay Thai, but like you're like, because I don't train Muay Thai, so I don't really know that aspect of it on that end. So it's like, you can be super strong. Are you losing that much speed, or like, you know what I mean?
Yes. So, if in my experience,
I just didn't want to be ignorant and be like, I know big guys are slower, which is, that's
well,
a
there's
fact,
different
but-
kinds of slow. It's
Yeah.
it's different. Like, okay, so a heavyweight might be slower than a 170, just inherently, but he might be faster than another heavyweight.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little on the quicker side as opposed to like some of the other heavyweights that are a little bit more bomb heavy. And I throw bombs, but just in my sparring and recently, and the people that I train with 185ers and 205ers all the time. So I had to get quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're slower because there's more mass to move around, and
Right.
it just takes more to recover, and it's just more. It's like a heavier car with the same size engine because our organs are the same size, in theory, and you're moving more around, so it takes more. But it doesn't mean you're necessarily slow for your weight class.
Right.
That still varies person to person.
Yeah. I guess a better question is like, do you think like where you're at right now, like the heavier you go with your lifts and like the deeper into the strongman stuff, does it hinder your Muay Thai training?
Not that I've seen so far, like, because I'm not doing it as like a full-on committed like hobby as I am with strongman. But I think honestly the two kind of help me hand in hand because like the Muay Thai I recover a lot better. My cardio conditioning is 99% of the time a lot better than the other heavyweights in strongman. So I have that benefit, and just like it keeps me like, even though I'm tight and my hips are like tight and like my mobility isn't great, it's still a lot better than a lot of the other guys I compete against too, because I'm having to do all these things like bob and weave, duck, fucking take kicks, and all that shit. So
It's one thing to be strong, but if you don't know what you're doing with it, after one or two big swings, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So it's like those videos you see. It's like, you think some scrawny MMA guy is gonna take me? It's like, yeah, after you miss those two punches, yeah, I fucking do.
Yep.
I really do.
Yeah. I've gotten, just in straight jiu-jitsu too, it's like I've gotten folded by people half my size.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like it's fucking doesn't matter.
I was training with Jorgen, and one of his training partners out there, he was like, I don't know, maybe like 150, not cutting weight, right? Fucking wrap my shit up. I'm sitting on the wall. I'm just like trying to,
Like, bro.
I'm showing the elbows, right? But like,
Yeah.
we're training, so it's not like I'm hitting them hard. I'm just sitting there wrapped up, all fucked up. Like,
Like, what do I
God
do?
damn it.
Does that play like a huge factor in the strongman competitions, like cardio? Like I'm sure, like it does, obviously, but do you think is that where you have like a leg up on some of your lists just because you can just power through like some of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's two types of strength: static strength and dynamic strength. So, like, dynamic would be like, all right, picking up the yoke and running with 1,000 pounds on your back, or picking up the 400-pound farmers per hand and running with that and being able to move fast with a heavy weight load. And then there's the static end, which is just like deadlifting a heavy weight or benching a heavy weight. So I'm more static, or not static, sorry. I'm more dynamic. So like the takeoff events and like having to use the fast twitch muscles, I do a lot better at, versus statically, I'm strong, but like I'm nowhere near I need to be, because that's the one that grows slow for me.
Where do you think you line up with the other guys you're competing with that? Because like you obviously train Muay Thai and that's a huge cardio thing. Like, but how many people do you train with or know that you compete against that are just like fuck? They say fuck cardio and they're just like, I'm just gonna lift.
It hinders your performance when you do that, though. Like, even, right? I'm not wrong, right? Like, you have to do like 45 minutes of cardio within your weekly workout or whatever, even as a strongman or like a bodybuilder or whatever, to like make your muscles work good, right? Like, there's something to that.
Yeah, so as a heavyweight, you won't really necessarily see us doing 45 minutes, but you'll
I saw you in them burpees, dude. I seen them.
but like we'll get more stuff like sprints or whatever. So like assault bike, 15 seconds hard, 20 seconds rest for like 10, 15 minutes and stuff. And like cardio, a lot of the game now is like most people understand that cardio is a necessity because it helps you recover and stuff like that. But there's still a handful of people that are like, oh, fuck it, it's cardio, I'm not going to do it. But I won't skip it because I know it helps me recover better and like keeps me just on that leg up most of the time.
Do you run?
Fuck no. I tried.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah, I tried like a month ago. I did like 3 minutes and my shins were exploding. I was like, I'm not going to recover from this ever.
Gravity affect us different.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But I'll do the rower.
Gravity. Yeah, the
It
rower's
is,
a
it's
fucking ass.
Oh, I love the rower.
I
My
fucking
fastest
hate it
time was
so
like
much.
1:30, I think, for
Dude,
500
that
meters.
fucking rowing machine is a
love it.
nightmare.
So I bought one for downstairs, and like every time I just sit on it, and I'm like in a bad mood. like I'll get like a good lift in or something like, and I'm feeling good. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do like 5 minutes on the rower just to like cap it off or whatever. And I just like sit down. I'm just like, motherfuck. Like, like I know I should do it or like begin the lift with it, but it's just it sucks. I bought it for a reason, but you know it's just something I don't look forward to.
How
I
do
hate
you-
lifting.
How do you program the cardio into strongman training?
Well, my coach does that all for me, so I don't
Fair.
think
Fair.
about it at all. But like, what I tend to notice is like one day will be like a steady state, like medium to high intensity, and then other days will be sprints with like quick recovery time. And then other times when he's being a fucking asshole, he'll make me pick up like a 200 or 300 pound sandbag and load it over a bar for 10 minutes straight. Yeah, I'm just like, I see that, I'm like, okay, cool, thanks.
So here's something we
You
didn't
should
talk
come
about.
to a clinch day and do a 10-minute clinch round.
I'm all set. I felt your hands. I'm all set.
We didn't talk about this yet. Is diet.
Ah.
So we didn't talk about
Let's hear it,
diet
dude.
yet. So
What's your day
Trigger
look like?
warning for vegans.
I mean, we know Lisa's piece here. You know, is a big fan of like like the 5,000 calorie day. That's pretty cool.
When I'm full training, 5,000-6,000 calories a day, easy.
even a 5,000 calorie day for like jiu-jitsu athletes like Craig Jones, like
Yeah.
his dietitian's like, oh, fucking 4,000, 5,000 calories for just cardio sessions because you're training 4, 5, 6 hours a day. So like, what's yours look like? This is what I'm interested in.
During prep, 10,000 calories. Like, I have to get that, or else like I start
That
losing
daily?
weight.
Right?
Daily, yeah.
Nice.
And for the most
In
part,
this economy,
Which
God
restaurant?
dude,
He's
I-
union.
Yes.
I used to eat out, but not as much anymore. But too many questions at once. My brain's going on rapid fire. All these cheap as fuck. You get everything real cheap. But yeah, 10,000 calories. For the most part, it's I'd call it like 80 clean, then 20% bullshit. Because like at some point, it's impossible to get 10,000 calories of lean meats or vegetables. Like I'm housing a fucking whole thing of Oreos at night. Like a gallon of milk
yeah.
is in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like
We're a big fan of the dark chocolate Oreos.
I haven't had those.
It's game changing.
You got to grow up, dude.
You have them here?
It's
Dark
I
chocolate
don't.
Oreos are fucked up.
I didn't know that was a thing.
They don't stay in the pantry long.
I just got my daily calories in with Dairy Queen not that long ago. So that Reese's Fluffernutter or Dairy Queen was calling my name.
I'm not
But
a Dairy Queen guy. I'm never like.
It's quick and easy.
No, I get it. It's not like the worst experience when you want ice cream. I'm just never like, I'm going to Dairy Queen. I've never had that thought in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But-
You should grow up.
What's your
He's a fellow milk guy.
Yeah, I heard that.
Gallon
Fucking
milk
love
comment.
milk. Yeah.
Easily a gallon, dude.
Love milk. Dairy. Big dairy guy. What's your grams of protein a day?
Typically, like, I don't shy under 250. Sometimes it gets higher, like 350 range, 400, depends on what I'm eating.
I
but
would have to fucking struggle.
So
with
is
that.
350, 400
That's like
because
a-
you're training so much?
No, that's just like a really good day. Like, okay, like I can handle like, because at some point eating like a 2-pound steak, like you fill up quick. But like some days I'm able to eat more. But realistically, as long as I get like the 250 range, I'm okay. My body feels fine. I recover. It's mostly honestly just carbs, calories in and calories out. Like,
Yeah. Does
See,
your
I never do carbs.
Why not?
carbs are your energy source.
No, I know that, but I'm like mostly a meat guy.
Yeah, but you need carbs to have energy. You probably feel great if you actually.
That's debatable.
Most diets should be has heavy on carbs anyway. Like that's just technically how you should look at it. But
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Where was I going?
protein. Is there anything that you like? Does your trainer do like your nutritional stuff for you, or you just kind of like this is my grams for everything, and I'm just gonna try to hit it?
Wait, so how are you eating it? Are you like, so is it plates throughout your day, or are you like having physical food meals and washing down a protein shake at the same time, like as your drink?
I don't do shakes, so I just never really.
See, I cheated that way sometimes too, because my protein shake is like 1,300 calories alone.
Yeah.
So that on top of like a steak dinner. You know
I've
what
never
I'm
been
saying?
big on protein shakes either. I
No,
just
but
can't
if I'm
find
trying
one
to
that's
smash
like,
them, you know.
yeah, if you're trying to smash it down, that's fine, and it's easy to like throw all of your other shit into a protein shake, like your creatines, your like,
dark
whatever,
chocolate Oreos.
your dark chocolate Oreos,
sure.
yeah, like
Two in the protein shake in the morning will do his body good.
yeah.
Stand by that.
do a whole sleeve.
Don't be a coward. Drink a sleeve of Oreos.
Dude, my insulin spikes enough.
Nah, you got to really test it. See where the threshold is.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can't tolerate? Like if you're like you should be on like a strict schedule of like eating certain like proteins or whatever that you absolutely hate but you do anyway?
No, for the most part, like it's just mostly chicken, steak, and beef. Like I'm not a big ground beef fan, so like I'll typically go with like a cheaper cut of steak just since I have to buy so much. But like I don't eat constantly throughout the day. I just do 3 meals. I've just been like that my whole life, and they're big. Like my breakfast is like 2,000 calories.
It's also a lot to have meals throughout the day like that. Like
Especially working.
bringing
and then,
12 Tupperwares with you. It's like, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you've ever watched videos on like Brian Shaw, like
it's
traveling for World's Strongest Man, and he's like, "Oh, I have to get certain hotels because they have to have kitchens within the hotel room I stay in." And he's like, "I'm not like, well, he's well off now, but at the time he was like, I got to go to like Motel 6 and make sure they have a microwave in the room because I have to bring my stack of fucking to-go containers
Pre-made
with me."
chicken for
That shit's crazy.
families
Like,
of 10.
that's
Yeah.
got to be the hardest part of it.
I mean, I'm fat, so like eating has never been an issue. Like I'm just like it just goes down. But some guys spread out their meals like that, and just I don't know. It just never didn't really work for me. Like I still get the same outcome doing my 3 meals a day. Like and they progressively get bigger. So breakfast like 2,000, lunch is 3 to 4, and then dinner's just massive. Like I'll go home and make probably like 20 cups of rice or like 6 baked potatoes. And then, like,
20 cups of rice.
Fucking psycho.
20 cups of
cooked
rice.
cups, like so
Yeah.
10 cups uncooked.
No, I thought you were just raw dogging 20 cups of rice. Dude.
And like I'll make
That's
like
a giant mixing bowl of rice. And you're just like, all right,
it's not
go.
that big, but like, and then I'll make like 4 pounds of chicken or like steak or whatever, and that'll be like, I'll eat as much of that as I can with dinner, and then the rest might be some leftovers for lunch the next day. But it typically doesn't last me longer than that. And then veggies, I love veggies.
What do you try? You're obviously training twice a day, right?
No, just once.
Oh, just once, really?
Yeah, no, fuck no. This shit's
Oh, I didn't
hard.
know if you were doing it in the morning.
He goes,
go to
fuck
work,
no,
and
this
then
shit's
go
hard.
no, yeah, for sure. I just didn't know. Yeah, okay.
No, I mean during prep, my sessions reach tops like 3 hours.
So you're fueling up with breakfast and lunch. You
Yeah.
go to your workout, and then you have a good dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you're not so much into like the certain like science like a lot of people are. You're just like, it works right now, so I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
long as I hit, I'm good with my meals and I don't drag ass going into the gym, then whatever.
Yeah. And like sometimes I'll eat like a Rice Krispies treat before the gym if I'm feeling real sluggish or whatever, just
Yeah.
quick energy.
Are you one of those chocolate milk right before the gym guys?
No, God, no, that would destroy me. Just
Dude.
like that like
Shout out Jordan Jenkins.
I love sugary stuff, but like before the gym, like every contest I do, I can't eat when I'm competing because you're just destroying your body all day. You lose all like want for an appetite. So I just try not to eat as much before the gym, like a little bit just in case, like to have an energy source. But like I know the day of, I'm not going to be eating much, so it's
Yeah.
just like
The
I gotta
pre-script guys approved right now.
I just got to be able to do the same thing day of.
That's great. I vote like that's such a weird thing to me that was like like a big staple. Like all you seem to be like, yeah, I drank like a gallon of chocolate milk like before the gym, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I've seen like some of those like old school strongman guys are like, yeah, I drink like a gallon of chocolate milk a day.
Well, think about it. It's low fat milk first of all, because 99% of chocolate milk is low fat for some reason. So it's low fat milk that you're taking in. So you're getting the protein with the low fat, right? I'm on talking about it, right? Yeah, and it tastes better than normal milk.
Yeah, just get 3 gallons.
At least
of
as a
fucking chocolate
drink.
milk.
Yeah.
Raw
that's so
dog
much
and
better,
milk
yeah.
as a drink is kind of rough, in my opinion.
I could do it.
Not
all day.
not for like thirst though.
No, I like.
Oh,
if
I
wake
could
up-
do it.
If I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't want to grab.
Me
the
and him
water
are on the
jug.
same page.
I want to go to the fridge and grab the milk.
Yeah.
Dude, I can still like I'll wake up. This is my worst thing that I do. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, like not even fully conscious. I'll walk to the fridge and I will smash a can or 2 of Coke. I will spike my insulin at 3 in the fucking morning, and I will just go lay down like nothing happened.
God,
That's because I know you. That's toned down over time. Over time, that's toned down. Like we used to go.
It's like, oh, I'm dying of thirst. Let me power up. And
we
then
used to go to fucking Market Basket on like food stamps, and like the cards would mostly be 12 packs.
I used
of
to
Coke.
eat
like,
so fucking bad, until I decided, like, I think it was like 28. I decided to not be a piece of shit anymore, and I used to eat. I didn't care. I would eat takeout twice a day. I fucking survived off just the American dream, baby. You know what I mean? It was bad. It was not good.
my diet, like because I was pretty fat too. All of us got fat to a certain. It was funny the like realization that I think it was Steve's brother. At one point, like we're all hanging out, and he was like, "Wow, everybody from Stoop Kid got really fat, huh?" I was like,
I was
Jesus
always
Christ.
fat. This is a new development.
Yeah, I mean, I was always tiny growing up. I was wicked undersized. I was a incubator baby, so I was tiny. So when
I always knew you had some meat on your bones. You were never like a fat fuck, but
no, but like growing up until I want to say my 20s, I was a twig. Like I was super undersized and like I was.
no,
struggle.
that checks out.
Yeah, I was an incubator.
Wow.
Yeah, incubator baby. So I always had to I would struggle to eat, but now it's like,
Were you hatched from an egg?
yeah, I'm a dinosaur.
It's a clone.
Yeah, so I always had, but I have fucking immune issues. I got everything under the sun. Do you have anything like that like hindered you like at all, or you're like a normal person that I couldn't even fathom to be?
How are them genetics?
Yeah.
So I have
Strong.
Obviously, being big, sleep apnea. That you just get that from having a fat neck.
Dude, heard,
I
had
have
that.
But
Yeah.
I also found out recently I have narcolepsy, which my whole life I've always been tired.
Oh,
Sleeping.
you actually have that?
Yeah.
I thought you were sucking shit.
No, like.
But
yeah.
narcolepsy to a level though. Like,
yeah,
'cause
so
there's
it's not
people that are.
it's not like intense where like all of a sudden I'm going to be talking here all of a
He
sudden.
fell
I'm just
asleep
like
on
this.
my
Yeah,
couch.
that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Like,
Do
because
you-
there's people that like walking down the street and they'll just be like, "Schneef."
Dude, we got a boy named, Sleepy, right?
Yeah.
Motherfucker
Oh,
will be
dude.
like, yeah, so we're going to get talking.
Dude,
Yeah.
the first when you brought him here to watch fights one day, you brought
I
him.
never brought Sleepy here.
Who's
That's somebody else.
who was the person that fell asleep on the couch?
Cirque.
Sir.
Cirque? Yeah, Cirque is Sleepy,
Yeah,
for sure.
I thought you were talking about him because he
Shout
came
out
over
Cirque.
and like he was like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And then we watched a fight, and I turned to my left, and he just fucking.
Oh, dude, he'll tear it up, too.
Dude.
He sounds like an 18-wheeler with a muffler cut off.
Sleeping in the green room.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, you said you had narcolepsy.
Yeah, so I found that out recently. And like I was always tired growing up. Like my dad would always give me shit. Be like,
You have sleep apnea, right?
Yes.
Okay, I had it, too. Have you had your tonsils out yet?
no,
Okay, are they swollen at all? Do you know?
no, I don't look at my throat.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is maybe look at them. If they're swollen, get them taken out. That basically fixed my sleep apnea.
Well, I'm gonna take your word on that. But just as big as you get, like there's so much pressure on the neck. Like no matter what, I'm gonna have it. Like every guy in
For
Strongman
sure,
has it.
but imagine
Thick
you didn't
neck
have the fucking
activities.
useless tonsils in the way. I'm
what do
saying,
tonsils
like,
even do?
they had a what? I don't. Steve, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
He's on
I
it.
want to know what like
The fuck tonsils.
why do we have
do?
them?
We have a lot of stuff
Why
that
can't
we've
we remove
evolved over time that we don't even need, like appendix and like your gallbladder and shit like that. They have their uses, but you don't need them.
Your tonsils are 2 round fleshy masses in the back of your throat.
Pause.
Touch my tonsils, Dad.
Part of your
No
immune
diddy.
system.
No diddy.
Your tonsils are like lymph nodes. They help filter out germs that enter through your nose or mouth. So
Oh, so that's why when they keep getting you sick, they
You took your filter out, bud.
Yeah, mine aren't working.
Yeah. Jesus.
I need to get mine out.
But that might also be, I mean, not that, but it might be a reason you're not as healthy as you should be because they keep getting fucked up. That was my problem.
Well, my blood sucks.
Yeah. So if vampires
stone
took over,
cold.
you're good.
My blood sucks, as it is what it is. So basically, I have,
Bad blood.
yeah, it's a form of anemia, but it's like more severe. It's not like sickle cell or anything like that. But my blood
So
cells,
EPO. You want
yeah,
EPO.
yeah, I need a lot of stuff. So my blood cells are really small, and there's just a lot of them. So like the oxygen doesn't circulate. So like I could be doing, which is crazy that I got into martial arts because like it just doesn't fucking work. Like I could train 3 times a day if I wanted to, and my cardio would never get better. It's just how it is. And even my coaches have told me, be like, you trained for 2 years and fucking nothing. And I'm like, well, thanks, dude. And like, it's just my blood.
Yeah, but you can learn knowledge without being competitive, like cardio wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially in jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, you can learn the movements at not 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you go at
know?
your own pace. You find your game and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's why, like, you know, I have to cater around to that. But that's why I like lifting too,
You
because
good,
like
man?
you can.
You're breathing kind of heavy over here. You all right?
That's big.
I can hear
310 pounds.
it.
You
No,
know- you know
I
the
know.
life.
I understand, but just back it up a little bit.
Hold up.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
I don't have headphones, so I can't hear.
No. You're good holding it close. Wait, how much do you weigh right now?
310.
Oh, I thought you said
305
two.
after sweating out
I-
all the weight.
For some reason, I thought you said 210, and
we
I was
had
like,
a-
"There's no fucking way."
We had a
Wait.
hard fucking class.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for
You
that.
lost 100 pounds in one class. God damn.
We're like an hour and a half in, and I'm just like, is it over yet? Like,
So the gym canceled clinch. We had a staff issue, like the
Oh yeah.
thing. So
No, they saw
canceled-
him walk in. They're like, "No clinch today."
Canceled clinch, but we still had our 11 a.m. class, and Jake it was like an hour and 45 minutes. Just keep going. It
Fuck that, dude.
was awesome.
I can't even.
Thanks,
go.
Aljamain.
Yeah, dude. I can't even like. I go to classes that are an hour, and I'm fucking dying, and like part of that is just an issue that I have. But I went to classes before that the warm up was like a half hour, and I'm like, in what fucking universe is a warm up half hour? That's not a warm up.
Purple belts when they hear warm-ups.
They're like, yeah, dude. I have purple belt friends that message me those memes all the fucking time because it's
My
so-
one stripe ass, I'm fucking like that.
Yeah.
What nothing will make you feel more unathletic than warm-ups.
Well, the
fuck that
first
jump rope shit.
Yeah, right.
dude, jump
I
ropes.
got to do the air bike, but yeah, it still sucks.
Fucking Everett with a jump rope. He goes for hours. He'll be on a jump rope and just kind of. All right.
Everett is a freak. We should have him on. Everett is
Yeah.
a freak athlete.
Yeah.
He's
bigger than
you.
everybody.
He's bigger than me. He's bigger than you. He's a professional rugby guy, like a European professional rugby guy,
Then got deported.
and he got deported. Yeah, so shout out.
Big
And he's just a fucking super freak athlete. It's crazy. I try to get him to fight or even do jiu-jitsu because he's a mutant, but he won't do it. He likes rugby too much.
Usually rugby guys, it's so niche. Like they're just so into that. Like every rugby
But
player,
he's-
that
yeah.
it's just like that's all they want to do.
He's
their whole
been
lives.
doing it. He's been a rugby guy since fucking high. He's been 2 things: rugby and screen printing. He's done that
it.
for 100 years.
Consistent.
Yeah. Did you play sports growing up or anything like that?
Oh, dude, I played the bench. I was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like did football.
Sit your big ass down, Justin.
Yeah.
Where did you find time to be in every Connecticut band ever?
Yeah,
At
give
least
us the
half
list.
of them.
Yeah, that's
Give
a
us
good
a quick
segue.
list.
That's a good
I've got
segue.
a starting list.
All right, let's see.
Yeah,
which,
that's a
Are we
good-
going? We're going
It's
back
not
all the way to 16.
chronological.
Okay, so
it's
I'll
not
put this-
chronological, but I got some gems in here.
Oh,
I'll
boy,
put
okay.
this out there. I only know you from being a strong guy.
Okay.
If through like these, I don't know what bands you're in. I don't even know. Like you say, like
You're
laid
about to
to
have your
rest or
mind
whatever.
blown.
I have zero idea that you even play an instrument. So this is all going to be new to me.
Shout out and rage.
Let's see
you.
which info he
So,
got. I want
I-
to see how deep he gets.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
not super deep. It's like 5 or 6.
Oh, there's more than that.
But I've got it in a spectrum.
Okay.
From heavy to light.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we've got the big hitters, Laid to Rest and Jagged Visions.
Yep.
We got Crypt by Crystal Pump.
Yep. Shout out, great
That
pre-workout.
that shit made me itchy, bro.
Yo, I can only do a half scoop because I'm just like geeked out. I'm like, yo, like,
Oh, I was double scooping and fucking. I was
What is-
tearing it up.
what's wrong with you?
I was in the gym like, who won it? Anyway, go ahead.
We got Hatred Remains Strong, which I think is the nice middle ground between the heavy and the light.
I forgot about that
Then
one.
we got Mile High Sunrise,
Yep.
which Push is awesome.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank
It's really good. Like, a really well-written song. Like,
That's the one song I didn't write.
Oh, well.
Yeah, the other
sorry,
guitars were.
He goes,
that one.
thanks.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Thanks, dude.
And then my personal favorite and fondest memory is Enraged Youth.
Okay, yep.
Yep, that's
Shout out.
where I first met you.
Yeah,
And
that was.
Shout out
Were you
John
engaged?
Bain.
like acoustic collaborations and stuff.
Yeah,
Listening
this-
on like at least like live.
Oh yeah. Like, cause with the Mile High Sunrise stuff, it's like a folky, like I don't even know what to call it. It's just like whatever solo shit I
It's
want to
awesome.
write.
It's cool.
Thank you. Just whatever I want to write. So the first record was during COVID. I was just bored and wanted to learn how to sing and like do that. So I was like, all right, it sounds like Gin Blossoms, I guess, is the reference
Okay,
I've
yeah.
gotten. The second record was more like acoustic folky, like more towards Lord Huron, and that's like what I did with the third EP. And then I'm writing stuff for that now too, but just whenever I have the time and money, because it's just me. It's
Yeah,
expensive.
just dicking around. Yeah.
But for heavy bands,
It's
yep.
great for dicking around. It's awesome. That CD you just put out was awesome.
Thank you.
Or not just put out, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then the heavy stuff laid to rest, like that started when I was still in high school and everyone else was like 25, 30. Like I was the baby in the band. And then Jagavision, same time. Enraged Youth back when we were kids. Like, so that band was just all like childhood friends. It was
John.
John from Vane, Ricky from Vomit Forth, and then Tyler, who's also was in Vomit Forth. They both stepped aside because they had kids. And then
Shout out Vomenforth. Shout out Kane, dude.
Yo,
The Caniac.
He's
what's up,
been
pukesters?
in the same since I've met him.
Puke Nation.
I never know if he's being serious or just like actually having a real conversation or if he's just brocking me. Like I can never figure it out.
That's so accurate.
Like I'm just like, okay, I just take it all for like, okay, this is 100% fact what you're telling me. I don't even care if it's not. But there's also Cast in Blood. I started that with Ricky
Okay,
during.
so you were in Cast.
Yeah, so like
Listen,
Oh, Steve's
I'm
notes
gonna have
are-
to stop you. I gotta stop you here. It has to come back. You don't understand. It has to.
I'm not in the band anymore. I left to do like Berry Dreams. I was
You're in
there.
the band. Shout out Berry Dreams.
Yep.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, good point.
It's just one of those bands that there is no lineup. It's just
Yeah,
people.
dude.
The final show is just gonna be 100 members playing at once.
Yeah.
But you all have to have the kiss makeup.
So, dude, funny story. A venue got moved. Something happened, whatever. And a venue had gotten moved. And Berry Dreams were going to play. And so we're walking up, and we had like 50 people. And the door guy, we're all walking up, was like, yeah, hi, we're all in Berry Dreams. And we all came in. He was like, whatever, whatever,
Prove
dude.
Not a false statement.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
Prove us wrong.
Everybody's been in Berry Dreams for 2 weeks.
Is Berry Dreams done or are they
Last
ending?
show coming up soon.
July, right? June or July?
I don't know the exact.
They posted the date. Yeah, it's like 100 Demons.
Not Through Blood.
Not Through Blood. Yep.
I wonder who that is.
Why are they breaking up? Just time.
I
schedule?
I truly don't know. I'm 100% speculating here. I think it's just a time thing.
Yeah,
I think
makes
it's just
sense.
like it ran its course. Maybe you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's just
As
like
stuff
I know he wants to really focus on Haywire, and he's in he's got a couple Suburban Scum.
Subs gone.
Yeah,
He's got a couple.
CMI,
He's got a
right?
lot going on.
Yeah.
So, Berry Dreams will never die.
it's
You
just
know what I mean?
because there's too many members for it to
It'll
die.
when it
Oh,
when it-
scheduling thing. Let's call fucking
when the time is
Literally.
right, bro.
Give it 5
It'll
years
come
and
back.
it'll come back just strong.
Let it
Just as
marinate
strong.
for a little while.
Yeah,
It'll
but
come
can
back.
you imagine the intro after 5 years of not?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. You can play it with any band, and the whole venue's going to erupt.
Yeah.
Iconic track, dude.
So good.
What's the favorite band that you've ever been in?
Cast and Blood.
Cast and Blood is
He's
probably
answering
one of
for you,
Yeah,
like-
like one of the ones like writing because like when I do bands and stuff like that, like when I was young, it was just because you want to do a band with your friends or whatever. As I've gotten older, it's just like okay, I want to try writing this because like I want to see if I can do it. Cast and Blood was during like that whole metalcore revival where everyone's trying to sound like 18 Visions, like the early stuff, and like me and Ricky
Killed
loved
it.
like bleeding through.
Yeah.
And we're just
Hell
like, why don't we do
yeah.
a band like this? So we hit up Ryan. Ryan was all about it. So
Big
we just started
bleeding
writing
through
that.
band,
And
yeah.
just like the whole basis of that was like, okay, like he was into like all that crazy dark stuff. It's like, let's just make it the first EP just about serial
The
killers.
coolest band ever.
But yeah, so
Just, dude. Tell
What's your favorite
Ryan-
track? I wanna
tell
know.
Ryan.
The
dude,
one with John on it.
honestly,
Armed and Crowned.
Yeah, Arm and Crown.
I'm a Kill for Layla fan, and also Eyes of Anubis.
Yes!
Dude,
That's my favorite
CD,
song.
That CD is a front to back for me, for real.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm your boy or like whatever. Like, here's the thing: somebody just needs to be like, look, Ryan, Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you made good life choices. I get that, but it's so cool being evil. So just come back, do some art. We'll disguise it as art, right? You'll get the pass. Just be a little evil, and then that's it. You do it once a year.
I wish. But yeah, Bringing Up Eyes of Anubis, that's the favorite song I wrote.
Awesome.
Except, so the ending, the clean part, I was trying to think of a part to write to like transfer out into that song.
Yeah.
And we're just at practice, and Mike Gettings, shout out Armageddings.
Armageddings, dude.
He was just playing this like
Incredible.
clean like lick, and I was just like, yo, keep playing that. And then Ricky started playing drums, and that's how the outro of that song evolved. It was just like straight into like the deep emotional fucking
Big Rick too, right?
bigger.
100
So
Demons.
when I left, so at that point when I left, they wanted to do a lot, but I was doing so much with Laid to Rest and Buried Dreams, I just couldn't keep up, especially working and all that. I
That was a
like,
fucked up summer.
yeah, it was just nonstop. So I was just like, okay, like I got to step back from this. And so then Big Rick came in, guitarist of 100 Demons. He's also Ricky's father, and so two insane musicians. Like I can't even comprehend how they know what they do. And yeah, so he stepped in to do the couple singles they did, and then they did the split with Foreign Hands. And yeah, just like hearing some of like the songs that could have been 100 Demon songs revitalized to like with Ryan, yo, insane.
Yeah,
What time frame was this band around for?
2017.
16 or 17 we started. Yeah, I did it for like 2 years with them. Then COVID happened, and then post COVID, I think was with
It was
Rick.
during the Connecticut resurgence.
Yeah, because Cast and Blood was happening. Buried Dreams was playing Connecticut a lot, and then
Were you in Dilate, or was that just
No,
Armageddings?
that was Dan and
Yeah.
Joe Chase, and then we also did another band that never went anywhere. We had Kane singing, and we were supposed to play shows. It just didn't work out because of schedules and stuff like that. Kin of Winter, which was like
Oh, dude,
black,
that was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, fuck.
but
I'm
it
gonna
was
listen
like
to that on the way
black
home.
metal, like fantasy-esque music. But the whole gimmick of it was Kyle wrote all the heavy parts, right? Insane at writing heavy parts, like off-tempo shit like that. And while he was playing all heavy parts, the whole entire time I'm playing clean guitar, like with like reverb and like delay and stuff like that. And then Kane's singing voice, like he did like a Predator growl on the record, and it's just like, how do you even do that?
Yeah, I'm like,
Kane
was-
is a remarkable frontman.
Insane.
For real, he really is.
I've just been so far removed with everything music wise over the past like 10 years just because of me and my shitty career. Like I worked in the car business forever, so I was working like 12-hour days, 14-hour days, fucking crazy. So like I went to the first show that they got me to
Toy
go
Drive?
to, the Toy Drive.
The Boston one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the first show I went to in 7 years.
Was that the Skinhead one or the
That was
No, it was
Buried
On Broken
Dreams,
Wings.
on Broken Wings.
Wasn't there two, right? Am I thinking
There
of
was
something
two,
else?
but I
Yeah.
went to that one.
Okay.
That was the first show I went to in like 7 years.
Where was that? Middle East downstairs, right?
No,
No.
this was it was some like random venue.
Huh.
Fuck.
It was like a VFW or something.
It was, Lee, do you remember? It was the one where they were giving grief about the trash afterward
That was funny.
and taking out the trash.
I think it was Framingham,
No, that was the COA one.
Waltham. Then
Yeah, Waltham. Yeah, that's where it was.
Mass towns aren't computing in my brain.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. You're not
Like,
from here.
It's all Boston.
it was
It
crazy.
is
That was
fair.
so stupid. That lady was so
That's
stupid.
that was funny because it was like, you have any like trash bags? And she was like, not for you. Like what?
How would you? You gotta pick up the. You have to pick up the trash, but with no trash bags from us.
He
Stop
literally
that.
us and goes like, we just did a toy drive for kids, and you're not gonna give me a fucking trash bag? And like,
She was
dude,
a fucking dildo. Dude.
She was the worst.
God.
And then like somebody ended up having like just a roll of fucking lawn care bags like in their truck or something. Like, here you
Oh
go.
yeah, that's what it was for. Is to move the toys out of
Yeah.
the venue. It was part of For the Children. It was like,
That's what it was for the children.
okay, I get it. Like the trash bags aren't for the guests, but at the same time, we just paid the. You got the bar.
He
money.
off-
We got a
by the
shit ton
way-
of money from the bar. You got whatever we rented for the hall. You got all this. You got a good exposure for.
He also
for all.
offered her, and I saw him do. He pulled out his wallet and goes, "I will give you $20."
He did. Yeah, he did. He
For
offered.
fucking
And she was
trash
just like,
bags.
no.
She was like,
Dude.
She was like, "It's not my call," and he was like, "Well, whose call is it?" And she was like, well, he's not here.
Dude, that's so
Just
crazy.
pocket the $20.
Dude,
like,
they're trash bags.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Imagine living a life where it's like, it's not my call. On making an executive decision on giving someone trash bags.
And I'm pretty sure she was like, well,
$20 would get you new and then some. There's
then-
there's no harm, no foul here.
Yeah. Then she got all high and mighty and was like, well, I'll make sure there's no more shows happening here anyway. And
Oh,
he's just
darn.
like, oh, no. Fucking no more shows here that I can't borrow trash bags for kids.
Dude, it was
Like,
stupid.
it was a fucking disaster.
You didn't play. Oh, so yeah. Oh, Laid to Rest played a set though, like a song.
Oh, that
Kyle-
was
Kyle
I know what
the
you're
rest.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle. Yep. Yeah, because Kyle and Dan were there. Was Nate there? Right? Because he was playing for Buried Dreams. Was he playing?
No, Kyle just showed up to play Laid to Rest. So who are you asking? Nate?
Yeah, because Nate was in Buried Dreams for a while too. Little Nate from Laid to Rest, our drummer.
Yeah, but I think Snooks was playing drums.
Snooks was okay.
Right?
I
I don't know.
That was a
I
long
truly
time
don't
ago.
know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was like back in November.
Yeah, it's November.
Not even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I know the video you're talking about. Kyle sent it to me.
Yeah, Buddy did.
Buddy, yep,
Buddy
yep.
did it. It was one song, yeah. But during Bear Dream set.
Yeah, that was fun.
Were you in LA when we did the split Laid to Rest Buried Dream show for the children?
Yeah,
That was sick.
yeah, that was awesome. For the Children is always awesome. The West Coast one, that's one of my favorite ones to go to.
Yeah, it was such a sick fest.
Are you
Sure,
active
Nate's
in
cool.
anything right now? Or are you just kind of like laying low?
Kinda like Laid to Rest does stuff once in a while, like 1 or 2 shows a year. Like we got Tied Down Fest in Detroit in June.
That's gonna be awesome.
Playing shows when Reddit nerds aren't up your ass?
Yeah, which fucking it's the internet. It's not real.
It's true.
Right.
Oh, another band, Living Weapon.
Oh, you're in Living Weapon?
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just didn't do the U.S. tour because I couldn't afford it with work and shit like that. But like, yeah, we got 3 shows coming up at the second week of June, I think. One's announced so far. I think it's the Long Island date, but it's the Simulacra's record release weekend.
That band's crazy.
They're
Yeah.
cool.
So we're doing that with them. But I'm moving from bass to guitar on that band now. Now Anthony, I believe, is going to be full-time bassist for that. So just Vein 3.
Just 3.
Yeah, Vein 3.
No, this would be Vein 4.
Vein 4
Because Fleshwater, Vein,
Living Weapon.
Living Weapon, and
Beast
then
Beast.
Beast Beast.
Motherfucker.
What's the
Dude.
4th band they're in right now?
Who was I just thinking of?
I don't know.
Living Weapon, Fleshwater,
This is where you come in, Steve.
Vein.
Was it a John band or an Anthony band?
No, maybe it is 3. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm fucked up.
4.
Yep.
He's
3. Nope.
Yeah, East Beast.
Is there any projects that you are like super excited about right now doing? Because I know you mentioned like an acoustic thing.
Yeah, so the Mile High Sunrise stuff. So I got right now 5 songs written, 6 maybe. Leaning towards more like a darker folk route, which I'm just trying to, at this point with that, like I just want to do a full record, do it how I want to do it, and then put it out when I can. So right now it's just waiting on the money thing and also having the 5 other songs. But so I'm not really rushing to get it done, but when the time comes, I'll push that out. It sounds kind of like, for influences at least, like for bluegrass and folk bands, I take a lot from Coulter Wall, The Devil Makes 3, and Amigo the Devil. Like it sounds, all the songs I have written so far are just this weird chord that's like, I just call it a demon chord because it's so dissonant and weird sounding, but like I can't stop using it. Each song has it. I'm just like, I have to keep using this.
Hey, you
like
found
casting
your
blood in
niche.
you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you found your little niche with how your writing translates over to acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
So are you just doing? Is it like an acoustic record? You like singing on it? Like
singing and acoustic guitar and then like doing overlays and stuff like that. So like the last record, it was Nick Molino of The World. He did backing vocals and sang some parts and like did like other lead guitar lines with me. Then I put electric guitar in there, and then Greg Thomas, the guy I recorded with at Silver Bullet, he did like the studio production stuff of like the pianos or like the little chimes on that like the 3rd song I think or 4th song, I forgot what it was. Did like little stuff like that, but this one will be more tailored towards like a traditional folk sounding with like pianos, fiddles, and stuff like that. And like the lyrical content is basically telling stories. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you read it all, but like when I have time, I enjoy reading.
nah, I have
And,
movies.
What do you got?
movies or books.
Books.
Okay, so like all this stuff, if you've ever read Stephen King, his Dark Tower series, tops Lord of the Rings, tops like tops anything in my opinion. And like it's just so dark and crazy dimensional shit based in the Gunslinger series. And so like a lot of the stories tied to like all the crazy shit that goes on in there.
All his books tied together. I've
Yeah,
watched
but it's all based from the Dark Tower. That's like
Yeah,
the main
yeah, yeah.
hub of the
The
realm.
center, yeah.
And like
Didn't they fuck the movie up wicked bad?
Yeah, apparently like it wasn't even tied to the books. It was like a post like book thing. But now, so the guy on Netflix, Mike Flanagan, who did like Midnight Mass and what was that other one that just came out recently, where it's like the Edgar Allan Poe stories with they're talking about like telling the story of all Poe stories, but it's like all these fucked up rich
The
children.
Fall of the House of Usher. That
Yeah,
was,
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so he directed those and all those like dark-esque shows on Netflix, and he got a deal with Amazon to be their main writer. But part of the deal was he wanted to make his own show based on the Dark Tower. So he's going to write all these Amazon shows, but he has the full power to do whatever he wants for Dark Tower, and that's going to be its own series. So I'm excited for that because he nails it with everything he does.
So that's like your writing inspiration right there. It's just like books and stuff like that, and you kind of translate it.
For the new stuff, yeah. The old stuff was just like emotional times, or like I was sad about shit, or like
Oh,
was
yeah,
just dealing
gotta
with
have
life
those in there.
shit, like just a way to get my emotions out because I'm not very good at talking, like or like saying like, oh, I feel angry today, like I'm just not good at that.
I'm
shit.
just gonna go lift something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like those were more like just dealing with life shit to write songs, and now this is like, all right, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. What other instruments do you play? Didn't you say you played like fiddle or something?
No, I tried. I can't do that. My finger's
Yeah.
too big. Like no way. But I'll have this guy Andreas. His wife plays fiddle, and she's fucking nasty at it.
He plays the flute.
I do play the flute. I was hoping you'd catch that.
actually, it made a couple of appearances. Did you have a birthday recently?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
week.
We will never forget.
The Justin Remains flute solo.
Dude, Hatred Remains. Incredible.
Oh, I forgot about that because that's not on Spotify.
Shout out.
No,
I
it's
did
on
like-
Bandcamp though.
It is. I did like a metalcore-esque band, like, but like my ripoff was Black My Heart. Like I was like, I want to sound like this, but with singing.
Metalcore Black My Heart.
Yeah. Well, like the first song is literally just like dun dun dun, 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 or whatever. I was just like, I want to use this so bad.
Yeah.
So like, just did that. But
It's an homage, dude.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
hardcore. It's an homage.
At some point, every band was like, I want to sound like Black My Heart.
yeah.
There's only so many ways to play certain things.
There's only 12 notes.
That's
Yeah.
Yo, late to rest. We only go up to the 3rd fret, dude.
top 2 strings,
all
5
you need.
frets. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
6 frets a little too fancy.
Yeah, that's too much. That's not vain. Come on.
Drop Z.
No, they
Whatever
play
the
in.
fuck it
I
is.
think they play in standard, right?
Black My Heart.
No, Vane.
I think they have multiple tunings at this
Yeah,
point.
actually, yeah,
The
that
tracks.
yeah.
Yeah, because they have John was telling me about this pedal that literally you just press and it drops you down a tuning. You don't even have to tune your guitar.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, an octave pedal.
I don't think it's an octave pedal. I think
No?
it's like literally it's called like a D tune or something like that.
Oh.
So like you set what scale you want it to tune to, and as soon as you press it, it goes to that.
Does he
tuning.
have an automatic like tuner knob thing up here?
Oh no, it's just a
No,
pedal.
it's
That,
just a
like,
pedal
makes it
that-
Oh, it's
sound
just
like
the
a
sound.
tuning.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
an interface. Okay, all right.
It's
all right.
it's like a
Like a processor.
processor. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the word I was thinking of. Yeah, I think I've heard about that.
Yeah, I'm just like that's fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah. Have you seen those guitars that like tune themselves?
Yeah, dude. The
Fucking
new
crazy.
like trend because I was looking up basses the other day. I like my bass. I want a 5-string, and but there's like a new trend where they don't have fucking knobs anymore.
Yeah.
Or like a head. It's just like it just stops at the end of the neck.
It's like a weird
like the
block
pocket
thing.
guitar kind of
yeah,
thing.
it, like,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
Yeah, it's
I
dumb.
hate how it looks.
Yeah.
I was looking, and I don't like the new ones. I haven't played one, but just visually, I'm like that sucks. Like I don't like it without a headstock on it. So
All my old guitar gear that I had, like even though I don't play that much anymore, I still regret selling it. Just because at the time I was like, I don't play anymore, so I just sold off all my cool like EC1000 and all the
you had a
really.
nice setup, yeah.
I had a really nice fucking setup, and I had an old crank head that I got for such a steal, and I was like, I never used this, so I sold it, and you like can't find those.
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of kicking myself for selling it.
That's why I refuse to sell any of my stuff. No matter how like much money I need at any time, I'm like, nope, not going to get rid of it
Yeah.
because then I'm just going to want it later. Like,
Yeah,
there's been
I
times where I'm
regret
like
it.
strapped. I'm like, okay, I could sell a cab for $500,000, and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it,
Yeah.
don't do it.
I have a whole custom setup now, like built and everything, but like I had a crank head with like, 2 cabs. I think they were Mesa or some like old vintage like 70s fucking Marshalls or whatever it was. But it's been so long, but I had that crank head, the Revolutionary like +1 or whatever it was. I still to this day kick myself for selling it. It just wasn't worth the dollar amount, and I haven't been hurting for money in a very long time. So I'm just like, no, but I mean, like going back to like you were hurting for cash. You would sell something for like $500. It's easy to think about that with music gear because you can always get it again.
Yeah.
Those crankheads you cannot just get again.
Yeah, like I'll sell my banjo. You want a banjo? $500.
Yeah.
But like,
I watched a guy get smashed with a banjo once. No, a mandolin.
A mandolin.
It was the mandolin.
Dude,
Like
rest
live?
in peace the Heartless.
Rest in peace, Shark Attack, dude. Oh, dude.
The band that never got to play.
I'm pretty sure that mandolin is still somewhere covered in blood. Like, I'm pretty sure fucking has it still.
Should ask
Anyway,
him.
whatever. Where were we right before that?
Talking about custom setups, I think.
Before that,
No, custom. Am I the only one? And I know Steve will testify to this. Am I the only one in this room that's thinking about, like, I want the smallest fucking head possible, so that way I can show up with a little briefcase, boom, plug in, that's it.
Now-
I'm not lugging shit.
Now, yes.
Yeah.
After when we played that Downpresser show,
Oh, that fucking dude, that cab.
remember?
Dude.
No, it was the head. The
5150.
No, I had a.
Oh, it was a double layer.
It was a Sun 300T tube head.
Oh yeah. Doom.
Yeah.
No, it was the Fender Bassman version of it. Fucking 90-pound head, and I had to park a mile away at the Shaw's garage,
dude.
to get to fucking the Elks.
Dude, Matt, we were in the Hardcast fucking group chat, and Matt was like talking about backlining and bringing cabs and stuff, and I was like, "Is this your first fucking rodeo, dude? What are you doing?"
Less.
I'm not bringing shit.
Less.
You'll be lucky if I show up with my own bass, dude.
Okay, here's the trick.
A head and cables. That's it.
All right, get your band not to open and not to play last,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
good.
you can ask one of them.
yeah.
Dude, backlining, I mean, unless the headlining band is a crazy band, backlining is an opening band's burden. That is how you pay your due. It's just how it is.
You bring your
it
gear
might-
and
Or
you
house
stay
or
the whole
house
show.
house gear.
Unless it's really shitty gear, like I don't.
Oh,
wanna,
yeah,
I don't want to
no.
play through a 16-year-old line 6 like cab.
No,
like,
but I'm saying, like, in most cases,
Yeah.
most people have fairly decent cabs.
Yeah.
You know.
Or those Stoop Kid shows that we purposely played with other people's gear because we knew we were gonna be idiots.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're not making it through our third song, so
The
why
fuck you,
why
fuck me
bring
days.
our only shit?
Yeah.
Why bring anything?
Actually, speaking of line 6, the Crip stuff was recorded on a line 6 cab. Swapped out speakers with like Mesa speakers and I think a Marshall speaker, so it sounded crazy.
Dude.
But yeah, little line 6 fucking weighed like 30 pounds.
When we so you're in the black metal band, by the way.
Okay.
Me and Kane.
Still
we're
haven't
doing-
written any. No one's
doing
hit me up
black
for
metal.
riffs, but
Well, we haven't. Yeah, I mean, if you got some, send them. But I'm gonna get a bass cab made that looks like a fucking coffin for fucking when we play.
it's
Make sure it's big enough
acceptable
for-
for-
black metal.
It's
It's
black
black
metal.
metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if
It's
you told me
gotta
that,
be big
makes
enough for
sense.
you.
And I'm gonna light it on fire. Yeah, no, it's gonna be
Dude.
huge. 5 speaker, massive.
that was one of my like childhood like rock star dreams. Like I want to play a show where I can light the head of my guitar on fire and just play it until the whole guitar burns.
I want to put a pig head on the mic stand in front of me.
Oh God. Okay. I'm not. It smells just like. Give me Vic's.
No, I'll get a
like.
for each show. I'll go to a butcher shop and get a good one. You know what I mean? Get like a new one.
Yep.
It's not gonna smell fucked up.
just get a
It's
cramp.
couple hours.
Hamstring seized up.
Just practicing his kicks.
Casually sitting.
He's practicing
ready
his
for that.
kicks. I was just like, oh,
I love Muay Thai.
dude, that shit happens to me all the time for no reason. Not even training. Cramps.
Cramps, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, it's just. You ever get an ab cramp like while you're walking and all of a sudden
That's how
you just
you-
cripple?
oh,
That
you
requires
cripple
having
over.
abs.
I got a keg going, but
That's having to take a shit.
like, yeah,
No.
that too.
I get really bad cramps in my calves for no reason.
Like the Charlie horse, like where it's like painful.
Yeah.
So if you shoot your toe up and like pull the toe up, it'll get rid of it instantly. Like you're trying to stretch your toe
Yeah,
towards.
that's
your
what I
face.
do.
Yeah.
It's just like for whatever reason, I just get them like really bad.
Yeah.
Like in jujitsu, like that's like it's my worst fucking nightmare. We're doing certain things, and then all of a sudden calf cramp, and I'm like, I gotta stop.
Yeah,
like
those painful.
I don't know.
T.
Tea. I need a shot.
What's that movie? Along Came Polly with what's his name? Raindrops. What's his fucking name?
It sounds familiar.
Seymour Hoffman. Right?
Yeah, Steve's on it.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Raindrops.
The basketball scene. You know what I'm talking about, right?
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know
when
exactly, yeah.
they're playing basketball, he's being ridiculous. T.
Dude, cramps are the fucking worst. I can't no matter what I do, I'm like weirdly susceptible to cramps. Like, have you?
Is it
like,
a potassium issue?
I would say
maybe?
like a sodium or salt levels because potassium is definitely a big one. Like
Yeah, no, like there's like
Get a banana, bitch.
No, I got very
Coconut water.
scientific with it for a while. No matter what I did, I cramped so easily.
Why don't you do like at home IVs? You can get anything on the internet.
I mean, I'm just now getting used to the fact of taking stuff that my doctors won't prescribe me. Like, you know what I mean?
Allegedly.
Like, no, not allegedly for me. I'm taking stuff.
I'm fighting for
Yeah,
my life.
I don't give a shit. Like my doctors is just pain in the ass. They're like, your body's falling apart. They're like, yeah, help me with stuff. And then like I even asked them before taking anything, and I'm like, will this help me? And they're like, maybe. And I'm like, well, can I?
suck.
I'm like, well, can I get on something? And they're like, no.
No.
I'm like,
No, because you asked this for it, you can't have it.
yeah, dude.
You
it's
can't say you
ridiculous.
want the thing that you may need.
I haven't-
Because then it's drug
That's the
seeking
game.
behavior.
That's the game.
Yeah.
So it creates people lying.
Yeah.
I'm in so much pain. I don't really want anything strong though. You know what I mean? I don't want any problems. Yeah, fentanyl's fine.
It kills the trust
Yeah.
between a primary care provider and their patient. It's
Well,
garbage.
It's also been so commercialized too. Like, how are you expected to have somebody care about you when you see your doctor once every 6 months or a year, and it's not even your doctor?
So-
It's a different nurse practitioner. It's a different fucking primary care.
My
It's a different
biggest
this, it's a
issue with
different
it
that.
is I have the medical records to prove that
Hold that thought,
need
Steve.
that I need like help, like more than what they're giving me. And when I ask for it, they're like, nah.
You're a burden to the system.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm sure Steve can attest it because it's like an insurance thing.
Oh, you did the insurance? Yeah. Okay.
It's
so
not even insurance. It's a numbers game. There are more patients than there are doctors, and they have. It's so spread thin. So like I just saw my doctor, and she has a panel of 3,000 patients.
Yeah, and she's expected to know
3,000
ins and
patients.
outs of that. She
So,
can't. She
well,
can't.
to your point about not seeing your provider, if you take 3,000 patients and divide that, so that's 3,000 visits. If every patient gets one visit,
Which is 10 a day with
Do you-
almost no days off.
right, exactly,
Can't be done.
Providers
And they have to
do
stay-
not have the capacity for it. It's a really
And didn't you say they
convoluted
have to
system.
stay within a time period too? Like if your visit's an hour long, they like have to like push it out or something like that to stay within like insurance time frames.
Hour-long visits aren't even realistic.
Yeah.
You're getting 15, maybe 20 minutes with a PCP now.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Which is
30 in a
crazy
progressive
because, like,
place.
shouldn't you go through? You should be able to go
Well,
through
so
tests and stuff.
They
like,
can't
then and
afford
there.
it though.
I
'cause
know. I'm
You're
just
paying that doctor how much an hour?
fucking farting in the wind.
So then it's no longer cost effective to have doctors see patients. So what you're seeing now is a lot of care management programs are popping up where people have advocates, care management nurses, and things like that that are paid less to check in with you more frequently. And so the whole landscape is shifting kind of to that model along with some insurance changes. But that's
No,
not
it-
my world anymore.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
get
think
it.
collectively as a group? Like, do you think like experimenting outside our means is definitely the way of the future?
I think it's natural. I think that the laws we have are just that.
Draconian.
They're not only draconian, but they are a starting point. It's the average of everything else. And where do you find other opportunities outside of that? So you've got to kind of break out of the norm. It's like if you look at fighting, a lot of it's establish a rhythm and then break it. These normal pathways are that rhythm, and then you got to break it to do something different or to land a punch, you know?
I can understand something like fentanyl or something being regulated and being like a drug that's scheduled, whatever. Maybe not fentanyl, but like just something serious. But when you go back to it, every single chemical can be found as a plant or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like outlawing stuff doesn't make sense if it's made from a plant. Like fentanyl, and whether has as dangerous as it is, has medical uses,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with weed and with mushrooms, all of these things, we had been stunted in our knowledge of it because of the drug war. Like
Yeah.
the dogma was drugs are bad. Okay, you know, like that was the dogma.
Drugs bias.
So now, as you get older, and I bit the Kool-Aid as a kid. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the majority of my life. But as you get older and you start to get new information, you can understand like, okay, well, maybe weed or cannabis is also a medicine. Maybe mushrooms are also a medicine. And when you think about it, opium is a plant that turns into opioids. So it's like every single thing comes from a plant. And if it comes from a plant and we have new knowledge on it, and the new knowledge is them helping us, why are we outlawing it?
Because we
You know
can't
what I
control
mean?
it and make our money off
It's
of
because
it.
you can't
Yeah.
tax it. They don't care about people dying. They don't
Yeah,
give a
it's
shit
not safety.
about people dying. No, that doesn't matter. So
It is safety, I think, for the people that are genuinely like in the labs trying to do that. But the grand scheme of things is
I don't think it's even thought about. I don't think the public safety is even a thought. Why would they care?
Some people just do, man. So like,
no, but we're
like during the lockdown and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I worked with a bunch of doctors that genuinely, wholeheartedly believed all of that needed to happen and was necessary. And
but they're not the ones making the decisions.
No, but in their mind,
Yeah.
the work that they are doing is exactly what they're supposed to be doing and like the right thing. So it's weird how it changes.
But is it like the right thing because someone told them it was the right thing, or did they actually have any thought on it? Whether it
where was their knowledge from?
Yeah.
So like,
You know?
I can tell you the main guy for all of the coronavirus and stuff at my work.
Bill Gates?
We'll have to bleep it. Dude.
The main
We're
guy.
get taken off YouTube.
I wasn't sure what word.
The main cause.
So he genuinely was like studying the numbers, looking at all of it, and he's like, "No, this is bad. This is bad for our community."
Brett Weinstein, that guy.
No. I'm talking about somebody that worked at my office.
Oh.
But like, he wasn't just at our office. He was like the guy for the whole city. Like, not the guy, but one of them. And
Yep.
he was involved in like talking about the different policies and stuff. And a lot of it was there was such little time to react and such a massive unknown to it.
Mhm.
It's one of those things where I feel like everybody was like, yes, this is right, but it got so dogmatic, kind of like what Brad said, that then we saw it really hard for people to walk back once things got easier.
Yeah.
So it was just complicated. But
You have any like doctors that you see that you're like, you should probably stop being a strongman?
Well, I haven't seen a doctor in well over a year because my pediatrician.
They tell me things I don't like.
My pediatrician was sick. She held on to me until I turned literally. They can't.
26?
Yeah, so they got to kick you out once you turn 26. She made the appointment for my last day, the day before I turned 26. So up until then, I had the same pediatrician, and like she knew my whole life, like remembered, like especially like my mom passed when I was young, so like she knew all about that. So like for part of it, I think she like wanted to like keep an eye on me or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
but
But see, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. You don't have you have a
Continuity.
pediatrician. It was the same. You had the same for a long time. A
Yeah.
lot of people, you get switched up with your health insurance or whatever the fuck happens. You just it's kind of become like the drive-through.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes away actual help sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I got to come in here with my own diagnosis and tell you what the fuck is going on for you to almost get it. You know,
Yeah.
like I had to tell the doctors I had psoriasis. They didn't know.
there's
Yeah.
metrics about that. It's called patient continuity, and so like they measure like how often does patient A see the provider that they're assigned to, or how often does provider A even see their own patients. Like at the office I worked with, that was one of the biggest complaints was we don't see our own providers, and the providers were saying we don't see our patients.
But yeah, where were we going with that?
So
Something's got to change.
Yeah.
you would ask Justin like how did your doctor feel about like the strongman stuff, but you said you haven't.
Oh yeah, I mean, up until then, she didn't care. Like I told her everything, like with steroids and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm open about it. Like I obviously don't want young kids taking the shit.
Right.
But like there is a science to it, and like even she was like, okay, like you told me, like whatever, we'll check bloods, all that shit, and keep like a tab on all that, and kept all my biomarkers have been in check since then. I mean, it's been a year and a half since I got anything checked, but
Right.
blood pressure and all that shit like that. So like. We had a good relationship where it was like, okay, I could just tell her what I was doing, and she's like, okay, well, I don't see any issues, so keep doing you.
Yeah, there's just not a conversation you want to have with like a new provider and be
Yeah,
like,
like, as soon as
listen,
I
I
go-
pick really heavy things up, and I do things elsewhere. You know,
And
what I
like
mean?
at least with the science of steroids and with more information coming out and like
That's
actual
exactly what I was
studies
saying.
studies going on, yeah, it's like now at least you don't need to blast and do all these fucking crazy drugs because there's
Liver
a cost
King.
and benefit, like or cost and I can't think of the expression I'm trying to use here.
Liver King fucked up. If he just said he did steroids from the beginning, he would still be successful.
Yeah, 100%.
Why lie
so.
about it? Ancestral
yeah.
fucking
Everyone-
nutsack.
Most people don't care.
steroids.
Most
And
people
like
don't
especially
care.
once you get into like a pro field of anything, like
You have
even
to
like
almost.
any sport, like every fucking person is on them.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fuck ton of gear, like bodybuilders tend to abuse steroids, and that's why you see a lot of guys dropping from heart attacks and shit. But when it comes to reality of it, your body wants a homeostasis, like a base level, and just a little bit of test or whatever, like DECA, whatever you're going to take, just to elevate your biomarkers to keeping all in the same plane of like homeostasis, but just a little elevated is enough. You don't need to run 2 grams a test, which you see like bodybuilders do on average and shit like
Shout
that.
out Rich Piano.
Yo,
Dude,
5%,
yo.
brother.
The king, dude.
Yo,
But it's like you're going to start getting side effects. Like I know right around the 600 mark with testosterone, I start getting my gyno, I start getting acid reflux, and it's just like then sleep starts becoming a problem. And it's like, okay, well, sleep and nutrition are the most important things realistically. So like this is dragging me down from that. So like realistically,
The
I'm not
pros
actually-
are no longer outweighing the cons.
Yes, exactly. So it's just like there's at least more people are aware of that now versus like you look at old school powerlifters from like the 90s, 2000s. Oh yeah, you just took 2 grams of test, 2 grams of tren, and like hope for the best.
2
Hope for the
Go big or
grams
go
of
home.
tren.
There was,
Dude.
not going to use names, but at least in the hardcore scene when I was younger and you were younger, a guy who ran tren for 2 years straight at like 800
A
milligrams.
guy.
Yeah.
a guy,
A guy.
a guy.
Is he, I know
don't think
he's
he's a
lifting rocks in the woods right now.
No, not that guy.
Oh,
No.
still him too.
No. He's not that crazy. No, he's toned down.
Yeah.
DMT?
DMT, yeah, he wants to talk about
DMT 's sick.
DMT.
Have
Go
you done
ahead,
it?
dude.
Oh, fuck.
Here
Did
we
like
go.
60
Here we
trips.
go.
All right. Yeah.
He was trying to be my fucking shaman earlier.
Yeah.
You should have heard this fucking sales pitch he gave me.
Because I'm thinking about doing it again.
Talk into
Oh,
the
hell
mic.
yeah.
The
Whoa.
microphone, Steve.
Jesus Christ.
Motherfuckers be wanting to hear what you're saying.
You're going to wobble the monitors right off the desk.
So did you do freebase or changa?
Did you do free base?
Did you do
Freebase
chung?
is the one you smoke out of a crack pipe. It looks like fucking powder.
Yeah, freebase.
So freebase, and then changa is absorbed in a root. But the difference between the two is freebase, your body builds a tolerance for DMT insanely fast. Like, so if you fuck up the hit with freebase, you can't do it for like 24 hours after that. You have to wait because your body won't use it. Changa, it's absorbed in a root, and when you smoke it, the root it was absorbed in blocks the inhibitors in your brain, so you don't build a tolerance for it. So you can, if you fuck up your hit and have it like just nothing crazy trip, you can wait a
Yeah,
little bit.
listen to Joe Rogan.
Dude,
too,
I
bro.
just assumed you were anabolic straight edge.
Oh no, dude.
Anabolic
I've had
straight
I've
edge.
had some dark runs, but
I've always been
yeah. My dad might see this. Let's please not.
I've always been way too paranoid to do anything like that.
So I like psychedelics, but I don't like stuff lasting for a long time, especially around people. Like,
You don't want to do acid for 12 hours?
no, like
No,
that'll
it's not
fuck.
your
Like
vibe.
shrooms, like if I'm by myself, maybe, but like for 4 or 5 hours. But like with other people, I'm like, nah, fuck, that's too long. DMT, you're 15, 20 minutes tops.
Yep.
You're in and out. So like, there's no time correlation. Plus, you leave your body. You have no idea you're even a
I
human
thought
being
DMT
anymore.
was like an all-day adventure.
No, 15, 20 minutes. It's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's like fucking, it's like the crack of fucking psychedelics.
I have no
It's
idea.
like the crack.
Of psychedelics,
brother.
I've never done a psychedelic.
Free base
pretty
crack,
cool.
dude.
Well, what about you? I mean, you guys talk about it like microdosing mushrooms.
I think it's great, especially with people with head injuries and stuff, because it's getting neurons to start firing again. Like I know plenty of people,
Really?
older people that have CTE issues, and they started microdosing, and like their memory, their anger issues drop. Everything is like coming back together. So I think there's a huge benefit to that, especially with the microdose. You don't trip. So
I
it's
went
just
to
like-
the gym on like 1.5 grams, and I felt like
That's-
a Neo.
That's not a microdose. Whatever. I feel like I should tell you that.
I wasn't
That's
saying it
full-blown mushrooms.
No, no. An eighth and up. Is
That's a
full
party
blown.
dose.
No, his logic
No, it
was
wasn't.
bigger man, bigger threshold.
It was awesome.
One
I was
slice
hitting,
of-
I was hitting the pads, dude. I felt
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more locked in.
I was gonna
You
say
know what I
I've
mean?
taken shrooms at the casino, and like you feel like
That's
you-
horrifying.
You're counting
Yo,
cards out of
Why
nowhere.
would you want to do psychedelics in a public space?
Listen.
especially a casino where the worst people on the planet hang out.
Yes, I agree. But like, I was young and impressionable, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll take them."
I love it here.
Yo, but like, you go to a slot machine, you're like, "All right, I'm gonna hit for $100." You hit for $100. It's like like it was like if you watched the Twin Peaks when they did the new season, like there's one scene where he's basically brain dead, but he's walking in a casino and he sees like a little light above slot machines. He keeps hitting for like thousands and thousands and thousands. It feels like that.
Jesus.
Dude, I remember when the homies
So
were
if you
on a
wanna
run of like $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 hits at the slot machine. I was like, this is nuts. This has happened to us 100 times. This is insane.
DMT
Weren't
just
you
unlocks
in
the future.
picture for the first
Yeah,
MGM
so fucking
jackpot?
yeah, Austin or so who was it? It was a split plot in fucking whatever. It was a big win. And it was on fucking the casino thing. But yeah, we got a picture like with the guy. It was dumb, you know. But that was only one of them. Like they had won in
I've seen the
multiple
pictures.
casinos.
Yeah, I've seen like
dude.
the payouts, and I'm just like,
Dude, Joseph, dude, he won. So he was crazy. He was a crazy person with money.
You just do DMT before
get
a
around-
casino and you see the future.
You get around Florida, John, and he's like, dude, it's just money. Who cares? And you're like, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah. Let's get in this $400 Uber helicopter right now. I want to go to Vegas. Sure,
That shit's fucking crazy.
dude. That's that. Exact
Hey,
story
can
didn't
somebody
happen,
drive
but-
my Tesla? I'm taking another ride.
Dude.
From Waffle House.
Drive home
From
my
Waffle
Audi.
House.
What were you talking about?
Yeah, so I did it one time, and I didn't. Well, 3 times in one time, but it was like
so 4.
Well, no, 3 times in that one.
Three times
Session.
plus one time.
Like one day,
No.
3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, and the first time it was like, okay, cool, just a little weird. Like I noticed sound went away,
Yep.
like background noise. I was
Yep.
like, all right, cool, whatever. Then did it again and really just kind of saw like red lights underneath one of my plants.
Okay.
And then the third time I was like, oh, here we go. And like the walls started melting and stuff. And I was watching a music video on my TV. And I looked away from it because I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm going to look at my kitchen now. And then my kitchen's melting. And I was like, oh, that's right. This is DMT. And then I sat back and was like, well, here we go.
So you did open eye visuals. Like there's kind of 2 ways to set yourself up for
Right.
it. So like I've done open eye trips like that where like basically like I remember one time watching it and I watched everything like drop down in glass panels and break down basically into Matrix code, and I was watching the world being fabricated. It was insane.
That's
Matrix
what was
was a
happening
documentary.
during this music video.
Yeah.
So like, I can only describe it as like all the colors and stuff went to this aesthetic that was like if Wes Anderson did like The Fifth Element with like Bruce Willis.
Yep.
And it was just like these like browns and oranges and stuff. Everything started breaking down into like. It started to ripple, but just when I thought it looked like water, it looked like something I couldn't describe.
Yeah, like especially too with doing DMT, like there's no words to ever fully describe it unless someone else has done it. Because you can say the most crazy thing, like, "Oh, I saw a color that didn't exist," and like you're like, "That doesn't make sense." And somebody did DMT, is like, "Absolutely."
That doesn't.
I get it, brother.
So, this is going to be really weird. Do you know what the Tao Te Ching is?
No.
Would you call me?
It's
Fuck, did you just
Is
say
that a sex position?
Sounds racist.
No, it's some Chinese philosophical text. But the first line in it is the Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao, or like the we'll say truth as a more like English word. The truth that can be named is not the eternal truth or the real truth.
Okay.
And I feel like that really represented with DMT, like the indescribableness. Like it's real, but I can't describe it. Everything else that I can describe.
I can agree with that after having done so many DMT trips.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell you one of the craziest ones I had.
Let's go.
So it was at my house, and Fat Man was there, and my friend Luch was there, and
It's a lot of shoulder in that room.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of beefy men, like at least 600 pounds. And so I'm sitting on the couch, and I forgot who was holding the bong for me to do it, because technically you shouldn't do it by yourself, because I guess you can light yourself on fire if you're ripping and you're just out all of a sudden. But I learned I didn't know that.
Light
the first
yourself on
couple
fire.
times.
What are you covered in?
Well, like the
Sawdust?
changa. Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude.
Light yourself on fire.
Yeah, because it stays burning when you're not lighting it. So then if it falls on you and you're out in a fucking different dimension, like
Burning
shit can happen.
yourself.
Yeah.
You would burn yourself.
But anyways, so I'm sitting on the couch, I'm doing my rip, and all of a sudden I lean back and instantly close my eyes, and instantly it's Star Wars light speed. And like I just get rocket launched into this room. Mind you, it's not a room. My body's gone, everything about myself is gone. I have 360-degree view of everything around me in this like dimension. And like it's like very spacey, but I'm down below. And there's like this whole giant like circle of like, I'd call them judges. Like, you know, when you see like in an old cartoon or a movie or whatever, like the
Yeah.
judges high up and shit. And they're all like crazy aliens creating stuff. Like the elves ones. There's 2. But so I'm on my couch, and all of a sudden I lean back and space rocket like Star Wars tunnel vision into like this crazy interdimensional room, and you don't have a sense of your body or anything like that. So like I'm seeing 360, but like I'm not a being. I'm just like, I just see everything. And in this room, there's like judges all around me of these like machine elves, is what they call them. And so like I'm looking at all of them, and they're all creating stuff, but they're like creating like emotion. Like one is creating sorrow, one's creating laughter, one's creating anger, and
The
like
seven dwarves of craziness.
literally, and like it's all pouring out like musical notes. So like there's like a musical note for laughter and anger, and it's pouring out into this hole in the ground. It's like a black hole, and it's basically going out into the universe. And I remember like seeing that, and I started laughing, but I didn't have a mouth or anything. But where my mouth would be, like I just see like the musical notes for laughter start pouring out like crazy, and then all the elves start laughing, and it's all pouring out laughter, and it's going down to this like black hole in the ground around us or whatever in space, and it's just being pushed out into the universe. And as like I'm starting to come to and stuff, they're like, we just put so much laughter into the universe, we'll see you again, this was great, you needed to be here, all this shit, saying stuff like that. And it's like we just created like years of laughter for people in life. And then I came back to and I was just like, holy fuck.
Sounds like something that was in like Beavis and Butthead Do America when they're
I've
on that
never
fucking
seen
trip.
it.
You've never seen that?
No.
Holy shit. What about the second craziest DMT trip you ever had?
The second crazy,
You said there was two.
Yeah, the second craziest one was one of the last big ones I had, and I'm at my friend Liz's house, and we're doing it, and I guided her through a journey, I guided one of her friends through a journey, so I'm like, all right, it's my turn. And
Fucking ant on the microphone.
leave him be.
No,
He's
I'm
alive,
just gonna
dude.
get in my fucking mouth.
Just eat him then, that's protein. But
Okay.
Gotta make sure it holds.
so it was the same feeling as like the Star Wars rocket ship into the DMT universe, but it wasn't a DMT universe. It was like normal vision, like we're seeing now, how our brains like make electricity and send us like signals to see you. So I was just in another dimension as another person. But have you ever seen Austin Powers? You remember Foxy Cleopatra?
Yeah.
I was a black lady in like the 70s in the whole gold up suit, and I was just walking down the street in like the sunny 70s and just living life
Were you
as
strutting it?
literally, yeah. And like I came back too, and this was one of the longest trips I had. So usually like there's no sense of time when you're in that realm. So sometimes it feels like you're there for a couple hours and you're come back and it's 5 minutes. That one felt like 5 minutes of being in the 70s as this lady, and then I come back and it was 45 minutes later.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is like the science behind this? Like what is happening with the connection of DMT in your brain that's like causing this?
So it's produced in our pineal gland, I believe. It's released when you sleep, and they theorize that it's released when you die and stuff. But dimethyltryptamine, I want to say, is the accurate name for it.
Sounds like something Joe Rogan would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's in every living organism on this planet. Everything alive has it. Grass, like just certain plants and stuff have higher concentrations of it. So like I think one of the things they get it from is like some sort of special cactus or whatever, and like they synthesized it out and shit like that.
What the fuck? So it's just like fucking projecting it, essentially, like from your brain or something. Like I just
know.
don't understand how it gets to that level of extreme of just seeing shit.
After doing it, like it make like hamstring again. Jesus Christ,
Too strong.
I don't even know how to like. It makes you think that there's more to like afterlife after doing it. Like even
Or
if it's
is it just
inside
the
our brain.
chemical affecting your brain?
But I don't know. Because some of the stuff that you see, like the one crazy thing about it is if you read like DMT forums and stuff like that, you can share your experience and a bunch of other people will have the same experience. So is it something innate in as us being primates? And
When a
just,
crackhead smokes crack, they act like a crackhead.
yeah, but like
Just
they
same
have their
chemical.
own personal like.
No, I get it. I'm not saying there isn't anything to it. There very well may be. It just I don't know. If you're putting the same chemical in your brain, maybe this is the way it reacts. It brings you in this crazy fucking.
But to have
we
it-
produce it anyway,
Yeah.
right? So like, when you die or whatever. So I just don't know if like the share. I'm willing to bet, or I'm willing to say that maybe, sure. You know, I don't know. You know,
It's if you do it enough and like see it, it like starts to make you think a little differently, I guess. Like because especially if you did like 60 trips with me, then I think maybe your thinking might
is
change
there
on
too
that.
much?
I mean, there's probably a point where I could have fried my brain, but like I don't think I did.
Like, is there like if you take too much acid, you're forever.
The
a-
guru said he knows people that do it like near daily.
Yeah.
At least
The one
for
thing
spurts.
you shouldn't take prescription medication on it. Like if you're on Adderall and do DMT, you can develop schizophrenia. I know that.
Adderall, DMT, schizophrenia.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I
Noted.
survived
Noted.
Lexapro.
Noted.
Lexapro. Yeah.
Lexapro.
But so I forgot where I was going with this.
You were just finishing up your
Spirituality.
trip story.
Spirituality, something along those lines.
Oh, talking about how like people have the same experience.
Yes, exactly. So like I can type in that experience about seeing the judges creating emotion stuff, and other people will have had the exact same experience. Or like there's a common one, I think it's called the Jester's Room or something like that. It's like a very clown like fun house kind of like thing that's going on with crazy fractal patterns. That's another common one. There's like a lot of like exact same shared experiences with people who have lived completely different lives.
No, I'm not saying that couldn't be it. You know, definitely that could be real. It could be going into a different dimension, different plane of existence, different thing we can't even conceive of, sure. But also, you're putting in the same chemical into the same brain matter. Like, not everybody's the same. Obviously, people are different. But if, like, when you do cocaine, there are a lot of similar effects. Like, everybody has an elevated heart rate, and you know, sweat, you know, things like that. So if you do DMT and you see fractals, chances are, if he does DMT, he's going to see fractals.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes in. I'm sure, like, I've like half done it. I like zoomed in, saw the Fibonacci sequence, zoomed out, and went half in, half out. I didn't do enough, whatever. But it didn't. Even when doing mushrooms or acid, it didn't feel like. And I know it's completely different, but it didn't feel spiritual. It just felt like this is odd, you know, like.
You ever had like a terrible experience with DMT, or has it all been positive?
I've had one off trip where I was just like, this is kind of weird. Basically, I got blasted into hell, and I was just like watching demons fly, but it wasn't like hell on fire. It was like everything was like crazy blues and icy, and like these crazy demons with
They
like
say ice. Hell is icy.
there's like the ninth realm or whatever in Dante's Inferno.
Well, the devil or whatever is frozen in ice.
Yeah.
The lake at the bottom.
Yep. But it was like that, and I was watching demons fly by, and they're looking at me, and like I'm there, I'm just like, oh fuck, and I didn't feel like scared, but they were like, you're not supposed to be here, and they're just like, why is this creature here? And that was like the vibe I felt the whole time, like they were saying that to me, and I'm just like, all right.
This is where they sent me. I don't really know.
Yeah.
That's kind of a common theme as well, as like people report feeling kind of like unwelcomed or like trespassing almost.
Yeah. Yep.
Having the same experience doing it though, like that's. It
There
just
probably is something
like,
to it. If we're the same species, chances are we're going to have a similar thing.
Here's a crazy one that, okay, like, where it makes you think a little bit more. Maybe, at least in my mind, it does. So, our friend Fat Man, his first trip was, and he explains it a lot better because obviously he went through it, was,
He's supposed to come on, too.
so, he'll probably talk about it then, hopefully. Yeah. But, so he talked about it, and after I did it with him and guided him through, he's like, yeah, it was uncomfortable. Like, it felt like I was in, like, a whirlwind of fire and stuff like that. And he looked it up, and everyone who had that as their first DMT experience all had one common connection about how they were born. And I'm going to leave that to, in case he wants to share it, just like that's on him. Like, I don't want to spill all that business. But, and every single person who was born a specific way, this exact same way, had this exact same first DMT trip. And it has something to do with being born into the world with like chaos and like being able to like tackle every chaotic thing in the world.
Jesus.
Wow.
Interesting.
There's something to like similar experiences like that too, because there's a bunch of like people documenting their experience with like having near-death experiences, like dying for like a 5 minutes, being resuscitated, and then seeing the same exact thing that like other people have seen like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like similar, I think.
Yep.
Like people were like, oh, heaven may not be real, but this is what I saw, and those people across the world saw the same thing.
Yeah, but those chemicals are being released in your brain.
That's what I'm
and
seeing,
those
like the
people each side have-
dimethyltryptamine or whatever it is.
See, like that's one of the things I've read too, where I was just like, okay, like I can see that being happening when we die. For most of these people, they died and were only dead for like 5 minutes max. But then I've gotten into ones where these people were completely dead for 40, 50 minutes and like were somehow resuscitated with no brain damage or anything like that and still had these crazy journeys. It's like, okay, this how like the body should be starting to decompose and all this crazy shit where the brain is not functioning no matter what at that point. So like where does that
Hit it with
come
some
into play?
sniffing salts, dude. Right back. Right back at it. Quit. You use sniffing salts?
Sometimes I don't really like them. Like I feel like it
Dude.
gets me amped too much for a lift and I'm just like out of my realm.
Steve loves the smelling salts.
I don't love them. I just bought a bottle to try them after that Joe Rogan video went viral. And
The Blade fucking theme
Dude,
song.
so funny.
And then I
So
just
good.
thought I was funny
Yeah, what do you-
posting a picture of the salts in a fucking pen and saying the dichotomy of man.
Yeah, yeah. What is your thoughts on the smelling salts? Now you brought it up, like
Powerlifter,
do you
first
like
one,
so here's my thing is like, I never understood the sniffing salts, and I don't get anything from like pre-workout.
It's ammonia.
Like those are the things that I like completely passed the boat on. Like pre-workout's one for me too. Like millions of people take it, but I take it, doesn't do anything for me.
You haven't tried Crypt.
Crypt.
Crystal Pump.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of pre-workout either for the most part. Like, I don't need all the crazy shit to make like my blood pump or like feel it. Like, I just need caffeine.
Yeah.
I like the Reigns because they have a lot of sodium and I sweat a lot. So I
Water,
need that.
salt, lift.
Yeah, caffeine, that's it.
Yeah.
But the smelling salts, it's kind of like stimulates an adrenaline rush. And so, like, you're able to not think about something being as heavy, I guess. So it's like, okay, pop this ammonia capsule. And now me deadlifting 800 pounds feels like 400 because I'm just like, I guess, in that adrenal state where you're just like trying to run from a tiger or whatever. You're kind of activating the same thing. But also on the same page, it's like, you don't always really need it. Like sometimes I'll have done them and I'm like, all right, it fucks me up completely. I need to be calm to do this lift or event or whatever. So it's just like, it's here or there kind of with those things. Some people use them all the fucking time and I think that's just dumb. Like,
Is there like a specific brand of smelling salt that you really like that we can clip and send to them?
Get you a sponsor.
Get you sponsors out of here somehow.
I know a good one I've used. I haven't bought, but I've used with other competitors is Zone smelling salts. Are
You don't-
strong as fuck.
Wait, so you don't have, dude? We know so many people with certain kind of businesses. Like, you don't have any sponsors for your thing coming up?
Nah, nothing. Sponsors, I think.
Sponsors,
Yeah, we
but
got to get you a
friends-
marketing campaign, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just so terrible at social media. Like,
Dude, you don't even have, just ask our friends.
that's like I always feel weird asking friends for stuff. Like,
Say, hey, do you want to be my sponsor or no?
yeah, I still
If
feel
they
weird
say
about
no,
that.
just go. That's fine, thank you.
It's like when a friend, it's like when a friend offers me a show or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll take you up on that later in the line. And I'm just like, I feel weird asking about this. Like 6 months later,
It's
just
also
yeah, but
one
it's
of
good
those
for
things
them
that you
too,
gotta
though.
send out.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things like you find brands that are there's like plenty of like just brands that you can just send your shit into and they'll be like, oh, we're interested.
We know like 7 people with shirt companies. First off, so if you're gonna make shirts for people to support you, that's one sponsor right there.
Yep.
You know, maybe they hook you up with the price and they put their logo on the back. Boom, one sponsorship, and then fucking anything else. Anybody with a tattoo shop, anybody with, you know, a lot of people. Man.
There's a lot of starter companies. No, like
Ask
starter...
your union friends too. I'm sure your union friends all have side businesses.
Oh, too strong.
You need to start drinking that water, man.
But also, like, there's a lot of company, like, not starter companies out there, but like, I'll call them indie like companies that make hydration drinks and stuff like that. That you can certainly send your. I'm the fourth America's strongest man. They'll be like, yeah, because they sponsor fucking rinky-dink assholes that just started blasting gear 5 years ago, and now they're just big. They don't compete or do anything, and they're sponsored. So it's like,
That's also true. But a lot of those pages too have like a crazy internet following where it's like, okay, like thousands and thousands of people are following them and seeing the crazy content they make. Like I know this one on TikTok or whatever. His name is Lat Man. It's like the one person like I actually like seeing videos. Like he has crazy control over his lats, so he does these crazy.
is it
techno
like
beats.
wings?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just like
yeah,
funny
yeah.
as shit.
I've
but,
seen
like,
them. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm not making content like that. I'm just posting my lifting shit, some of the Muay Thai shit, and just stuff I like doing. Not really trying to like a lot of these pages like they'll have like the max lifts and showing them. Just like I don't have like the attention span or time to do that. Like I guess
Yeah.
I should if I want it to be marketable, but it's like when it comes down to the end of the day, it's strongman's a hobby, and like I like doing it, I like being good at it, but I still got to go to work in the morning and work all day
Yeah.
and go train. So it's definitely a difficult realm for me to like understand and get into with that regards.
I feel like at this point though, like it being a hobby, you're still being wildly successful with it. When all things considered, like being not world's strongest man, but number 4 in America is fucking, that's a huge deal. So like, there's gonna be plenty of people out there that are gonna be like, we need real fucking deal athletes on our team to like help the product too. So I mean, it's worth a shot at least saying like, here are my stats, like let's work together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Find some products, or not like big companies, maybe not like I don't know, like Monster or anything
Nah,
like that,
Rain.
but like Prime.
You should call Rain right now.
Rain.
They already got all the big guys and
Yeah, they got
like, the
Brian.
really.
the top tiers. Yeah, so I'm like nothing to them. But
Oh.
what Brad was saying earlier, I should just hit up Big Milk, get a milk sponsorship.
Yeah. Hit up.
That would
um,
save my life.
Hit up. What's the big milk company?
Guide us.
Hood.
Hood. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
hit up Hood and be like, dude, I drink a gallon of your milk every day, and I lift heavy things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just
We'll-
Justin
we'll-
with a milk mustache. In every
Yeah,
billboard.
bring back the Got Milk campaign.
Yeah, got lifts. Yeah, I don't know. I just think there's something. There's companies out there that are gonna want to work with you
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
just trying to find the right one. Especially too, I'm not gonna advertise something I wouldn't use. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
not like if somebody, I did get hit up for one thing for like resistance bands, and I'm just like, I don't use these,
those.
and I don't really care enough. Like, thank you for thinking of me, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna consciously, in good conscience, be able to be like, oh, these are the best resistance bands because I just don't give a shit.
Yeah. I guess it's just one of those things that, like, you go in a, send your shit out to a bunch of companies, and then if they, like, want to work with you and they send you some shit to try out, you just be like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah,
Get
that
behind
actually
it.
one little thing like that did happen after America's Strongest Man is they're starting to use a lot of mouth guards in strongman, but like not like the typical MMA ones, like some
Like
where
those,
you
like,
bite-
little ones,
Yeah, when
yeah.
you bite down. So I guess it has something to do with aligning your jaw and making you stronger. And one of the big brands sent me their couple models for free or whatever, and I tried it, but like one of those, like I tried using it, I was like, I can't use this. So
Yeah.
one of those things where it wouldn't have benefited either side.
Yeah, because you can't get behind the product. Yeah. I mean, I think one way or another, we fucking let's help this guy out. Let's get some sponsors on it. Whoever sees this, you're into strong guys. Then
Yo, Aldi's, where you at?
Aldi's, yeah, I'm a very firm believer in the Aldi's.
You could just do a
Popeye
commercial
sponsorship.
showing how many bags of things you can carry out of Aldi's, and the price tag will be like $5.
Yo, all the bags.
The commercial
Yeah.
writes itself.
That's a TikTok.
You got to bring your
series
own
right there.
bags, though.
The
Yeah, that's true.
Bradley Martin type shit. That's all he does. He's bench press girls in his gym, and he's like, "Yep, now I'm internet famous."
I'll say I got my little party tricks.
But I imagine that's a hard part of being an athlete now, is kind of that pressure to create content on
Yeah.
top of
Yeah,
doing the actual athletics.
Yeah, because I know too. One of my friends, he has a Reign sponsorship, and they can drop him at any point, but he has to post like I think 3 story posts a week, and then like have like 2 or 3 main posts on his page each month, or else he is not part of the contract anymore and loses the
yeah,
sponsorship.
breach.
And so it's like, especially him who has multiple sponsorships, like he's like has to keep a data board calendar on his wall to know what he has to make for this week, or else he's going to breach the contracts and lose all that. So, but at that level too, it's also a career for him. So he's
Yeah,
making money
right.
on sponsorships and the lifting. So it's like, all right, if I didn't have to work a job, then it would make more sense. But
Yeah,
where I'm currently at, I'm like in that in between zone, the threshold, the twilight zone, I guess, of
Yeah.
like trying to find that happy medium to like really make it work.
yeah. But it would be nice to have, just a few companies. Like, even if you have found some companies to back you, where you didn't have to go buy fucking like creatine like every month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just stuff that you can supplement with them just sending you free shit just to be like, hey, I use this product like
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of companies out there, but nothing forced. But we'll we need to do something for you, man. You get you fucking paid picking
Yo,
up
Fruit of
strong
the Loom.
shit.
Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, Fruit of the
Hit them
Loom.
up.
Dickies pocket tees.
Yo.
Catch you doing a MeUndies fucking ad.
Dude.
That's a grievance, dude. The fucking YouTube ads are so punishing to listen to. All the same ones, fucking MeUndies, Raid Shadow, Manscaped, Raid Shadow Legends. Not that I wouldn't take money from these people, but it's just like hearing it on every single fucking
Well, that's
thing.
what television used to be. Now it's just
Dude, stop
streaming.
doing commercials. Find
That's
a new
the
way to
problem,
advertise.
though, is we are children of the ad-free YouTube era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were there when
Such
it
YouTube is
started.
$18.99 a month now.
Yeah.
Isn't that some fucking hoe shit?
Wait, what? You pay for YouTube?
Yeah,
Well, no, ad
I
free.
got premium.
So I
won't
pay
do
for
it.
ad free, so there's no commercials, so I can listen to the people talk about their commercials in their podcast.
Dude, ad reads. Bullshit.
Dog, they got you.
Yo.
They got you good.
Have you noticed Spotify is embedding ads now? So like, particularly
Yeah.
with podcasts. So I've got Spotify Premium. I'll put on a podcast like the Ringer MMA show, and then it gives me like 2 tampon commercials first.
Let's just call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good. We've been going for like 2 hours anyway. So
Been
we're
2
good.
hours?
Yeah.
Told you.